fact that the very first instance of the glitch contradicts it is kind of what.
Yeah, yeah.
But
Here's save glitch, except for this very first time and basically every other time during the run.
Yeah, well, I mean, you gotta go off something. There's like a million ways to do it, right?
Yeah.
Alright,
Oh,
alright,
God, we're
alright.
not going to be starting. Oh, Calamity's
Yes,
back.
I'm
Oh my
back.
God,
Yes, we're back.
you're on time.
I am on time.
You're on time.
I am on
The stream
time.
is starting in 10 seconds.
oh, he actually does do portal shot origin though. He doesn't do the camera body, so that's good. I respect
Okay.
Wait, hang on. We have to go back to the beginning. Yeah, okay, you got it.
it. Here we go.
Yeah,
I'll let you
Oh,
control.
we're here. Hello, everyone.
Ah! We're
Ah!
starting the stream.
I just
Yes.
noticed your text is German, but that's fine. No,
It's fine. I don't know how to change it.
It's not ready. It's fine.
Okay.
It's good.
Uh,
We should shut up for this, I guess.
This is great. Welcome to the Gamma Energy commentary, in depth. Maybe? I don't know. We'll see how this goes.
There will be
I
some
like the
depths.
wording, by the way. Can I just,
Thanks.
before we go any further, it says, you're now marked as ready. Unpause again to unpause. Very good.
Alright,
Source
so,
UI design, very good.
Alright.
okay, so this let's start by playing let's start by playing the first like minute of the run, right? And then
Yeah.
once we get to the save glitch part, then we'll play this bit.
Then, yeah, okay, so we'll switch
Do
back.
you also want to introduce everyone?
Yeah.
Nah,
I mean,
fuck it.
everybody could see who we are. Also, I'm an X. Maybe you should
That's
change
true.
your name so it's not you gay, no you turn.
Oh, yeah.
I have been.
We're
I
not be
thought
nice.
we weren't going to mention that to him. I thought we were just going to not just...
Look, it's I'm an X.
Okay. There we go. So,
Don't mind me. This is my secret.
yeah. So alphabetical order introduction seems fair.
So I
oh,
will
yeah,
start.
that's true. It is alphabetical.
Yes.
I'm the least important.
Yes.
Okay, hi guys. I'm Calamity. I am a major runner of this run. I have 96 segments.
Somebody
Oh,
should
we're
introduce
supposed to know how many segments we have? Crap.
I've prepared for this.
Someone like with a timesheet.
You have 34, Mike. You have
I have the
34.
time
Okay,
sheet open.
thanks. Okay.
Groovy, he's playing jazz music. Hopefully he
Yeah.
doesn't mute your VOD. That's the only thing I'm
Oh.
concerned about.
Oh, damn. If you just talk really loudly, it won't notice that
talk
it's playing.
loudly and
There you go. I'm an X. I'm the Australian one, and I would just say things are bad on the rarest occasions. I only have 2 segments.
yes.
But they're good segments. They're really good.
You hosted the community that allowed this project to
That's
flourish.
true.
So
If
you
anything
were
went bad, I would
important.
just be like, it's okay.
Yeah, so
So-
thanks for doing that. I actually didn't
Yeah.
put you in the thanks of the credits. So thanks for.
Oh.
Right, I'm Mike. I like rooting. I did some segments and then I got bored, but I did a lot of rooting, and everyone probably secretly hates me because I made everyone have to do really hard segments that they wouldn't have otherwise had to do, and also complained about the overlay, which we still ended up using. But
Overlay's not cheating.
I'm uncrafted. I secretly hate Mike, but also thanks, Mike, because otherwise the run would look like absolute shit. Nobody would watch it.
well, yeah, maybe not that bad, but
The level of
Well, it would be
quality-
pretty slow,
Yeah.
as I'll mention when we start playing the stream.
Yeah,
the
there's-
fucking run.
that's the Oh yeah, I also discovered the last map route, which I take full credit for because it's awesome.
Yeah, that's
Oh, yeah.
true. We'll get there. We'll get there.
We'll get there in about 2 hours.
That's a while away. Yeah.
All right.
The level of quality for this run, I think, is like really good compared to like the first segmented runs you did.
Yeah, yeah, for sure.
Yeah, don't even watch that one. It's terrible.
we should actually play the beginning because.
Because we always... Oh, there's music.
Whoa, there's music. Okay. So yeah, I remember when I first actually like Sunset Bear was basically like, hey, you guys should do a run of this, and I was like, okay, and I started doing all the maps regularly, and then she was like, no, I have a route for the first one. So basically, the first map consists of 5 chambers, and it turns out you can skip all of them.
Yeah. Fun fact: any portal map with more than one chamber is the best map.
Oh,
Oh,
that's
yeah.
true. Absolutely.
because you can skip all of them.
Also,
So
the music from the radio that's playing, there's some nice editing going on there.
Oh
I
yeah,
really like that.
The,
No, we're
the
setting
software.
up some various props and things for later
yeah, we're
TM.
definitely not setting up a chair as a ramp. It's not relevant at all.
No,
Yeah, and I guess we have to explain save glitch in a minute. don't we?
Well,
Not in
yeah,
a minute,
so
right
what we
now.
can do is we can just
5
say, hey,
seconds.
there's the coolest part of the run is coming up. Let's just pause it right here.
We'll have to come back. to
So-
that. But yeah, let's switch video and let's just play this. Hopefully, Finzi won't mind. I'm sure he'll be fine with it. There we go.
oh dear, I'm doing the wrong things. Okay, we're good.
The save glitch is actually a continuation of a different glitch, which is simply called the edge glitch.
Kinda right.
Whenever our character touches any edge of the portal, the character gets separated into two entities. The first entity is, well, you, and is tied to the entry portal, and is the one that we see the world through and move around with. From this perspective alone, you wouldn't know that anything has changed. The second entity, which is tied to the exit portal, is where it gets interesting and a little bit confusing. This is where all of our important character data, such as collision information and the origin of our portal shots, is transferred to. Being tied to a portal means that if you move the portal around, the assigned entity moves with it.
How do I feel about the
This
SG
allows us
body
to chain these
explanation?
shots
It's
together
okay.
and send our second entity on a journey into rooms
not
that are
bad.
much further away.
It's,
If you stop touching the edge of a portal, your second entity will be reconnected with
more
yourself
accurate than
and the
most,
effect is
definitely.
cancelled. That is, unless you perform a trick called the save glitch. While performing an edge glitch, simply save and load your game. Now your edge glitch state is
Also
stored
hijinks.
and you are able to move around with it. Now you're able to move your second entity around into rooms that were previously inaccessible with a simple edge glitch. To cancel a save glitch, touch the edge of a portal again, or go through one. Of course, things can get a lot more complicated. But this should cover the very basic idea of the save glitch, and I hope that it makes your experience when watching Portal speedruns a little better.
So speaking of
And as always,
making stuff a bit more complicated,
thanks for watching.
Yes, the first save glitch in the game is an immediate exception to this explanation. Or not in the game, in the run. Where we 50 seconds, a minute? I don't know.
Well, I think there's two important things there. So, like, there's the one where you use the portals to offset where, like, that, like, virtual body or whatever you want to call it is. But the other one is you can just walk through walls, and that's sort of the main thing we're going to be using this entire run
Yeah.
with doing
Yeah.
these launches.
So see
So I
here,
think focus
right?
more on that.
Yeah, this is called a well, we've been calling it a rubby, which is a new save glitch method that it was, I think Yuxto was the first one to do it after I was like, hey, this should work, and then it did. And
know,
it's
the
also
things that
how we
Mike-
skip.
I think that Mike does, you know.
Hmm?
Anyway, continue.
Okay. Anyway, yes, we basically use the prop to push ourselves, and then I guess by here we've saved and loaded a couple times, and so we're now save glitched because the game thinks we're in the portal, but we're not, and that's a stuck launch, which lets you just bounce off the chair we set up earlier, grab the gun,
Very good.
and then we do that.
Yes,
Yeah,
so
so an interesting thing to point out, I'll quickly jump back to 50. Yeah, here, this is
Sure.
perfect.
Yeah.
So an interesting thing to point out is that because of the way that save glitch collision works, some of the walls here are solid, some of them are not. The entire
Yeah.
floor here is solid, whereas only half of the ceiling is solid. And luckily for us, the half of the ceiling that is furthest away from the portal and that is right above the chair is not solid. So we can just fly right through that.
And also, the window up there is not actually a brush; it's like an entity, I think, and that's why it's solid. And so,
yes,
because it's
yes.
too far away from the portal to have collision normally, but because it's an entity.
And one of the
then
doors
we
also
can
has collision.
redirect speed.
One of the
Yeah,
doors
the
has
doors
collision.
have-
Yeah.
Yeah, so you can we kind of go like diagonally off the clipboard. The wall cancels all the speed in that direction, and you just go straight to the right. So that's cool.
Yeah,
Also,
and
when you're safe
conveniently,
glitched, stock launching of clipboards is 100% consistent. So that's nice.
Yes, because you have the crappy collision detection around the portal instead of the proper havoc physics. Yeah.
Yeah, an interesting thing is that
Oh.
the portal gun
Yeah, that's
is
what
at
that is.
the portal gun is at the very, very last chamber, which is conveniently at the very, very top of the map in this case.
Yeah.
As, you can just play this. You can
When's it,
see.
like,
The
slow
portal
motion?
will
That might be
open.
nice.
Well, it's a bit too late for that.
It goes
So you can see we
wee.
just
What
pick up the
convenience
portal
is
gun.
that?
I just want to see it in slow motion because it looks cool.
and then we fly right into the last bit. Because we fizzle our portals, we lose all of the shitty collision, and now we can just stand in the elevator.
That one portal there is just to give us collision in front of it so we can
Yeah.
maybe.
Now this is the
Also,
only time we
technically-
actually ride an elevator. So
This is true. This is true. This
Yeah,
is the only
also-
elevator ride we
Also,
do.
technically, we could be faster. Like this, you could get out of this elevator and start the next map and run. But we'd already done this map, and I showed up and I was like, this is slow, and then no, we didn't want to do it.
no, we didn't want to do it.
So this is like a couple of seconds you could save, maybe. But anyway.
But you're invalidating the run by joining.
Yeah. Sorry. These are. I did like 4 segments there just for that jump. It's dumb. Don't
It's a
worry
bit
about
dumb,
it.
yeah. We actually, Mike and I, we fought really hard over that segment.
Yeah, we worked a lot on that.
We
And
fought over that.
originally we were going to go into the fizzler, and
Yes.
then I realized, you can just land under the elevator, and then I realized, with enough speed you can land in the elevator.
Yes.
Kind of optimized it.
And
Yeah,
in the end, you ended up beating me by like 2 ticks or so.
Yeah.
It's
yeah.
really frustrating.
So
I'm
this
a
is
pro gamer.
this is part of the map. This is part where it starts to get a bit more complicated because we need to actually start worrying about the next map, because the next map we'll get to it when we get there. But basically, you can do something called a fake reload,
Which is a dumb name, but that's what it's called.
That's what it's
Yeah,
called.
so the fake reload is basically all my fault back when I was doing Portal 4. So,
I don't want to say it's dumb. That's harsh.
it's alright.
It's actually really awesome.
In essence, it's basically a animation cancel. So the gun has like a 1 second animation at the beginning of the map, and so you can't fire a portal until that animation's over. But there's some animations in the game that are a lot quicker, like dropping an item. So when they say we have to plan for the next map, we often are grabbing some sort of item, and the most convenient one is the camera. So when the level transition happens, you can just drop the camera instead.
And of
and
course,
half a second reload.
that is the only reason why we bring a camera to the next map.
Well,
No,
actually,
not
we
quite.
use the
Well,
camera
actually-
We'll get there. We'll get there. We'll get there.
We'll get there. We'll get there because that's used in the map after that.
Let's just play the bit where we get the camera, because there's like some...
Yeah. So here's the thing. Getting the camera here saves exactly half a second, and it's a huge hassle, but that's okay. Not a huge problem.
We have to
do
wait
a lot
anyway.
of portal shots here. It's really complicated to explain how this save, how these shots in particular work. So I'm just not going to worry about it. I'll just say you shoot the camera off the wall, and then you go through the orange portal, and you already picking up the camera.
So we're already not doing in-depth.
Hold on. Can the overlay play demos, or was that ever fixed? Because it used to
the overlay can play demos now, yeah.
No.
Oh, okay. Do you wanna do that then?
Yeah,
I
you
can
if you
try
have the
to...
segment.
I should have the segment.
It's like 15, 16, something like that, I guess.
Well, we can find out, right? We have the tab
Yeah.
sheet open.
Oh, of course. With all the very detailed descriptions of what the segments are.
I don't...
Segment.
Actually, I don't have all the files.
Oh.
Heck. Ooh. Well, I can send those to you. If that's
Yes, you can. Oh, yeah, people can
Okay.
see my
I've
Discord
got-
now.
I've got
Oh,
most
well,
of the
they're
early
downloaded
texts
on
in
the Discord,
Okay,
I'll have a look.
in the segments archive, aren't they?
in the Aminix Discord. Also, shoutouts to you streaming the Aminix Discord.
Yeah,
right
sorry.
there, the download.
Oh, I can do that. There we go.
Yeah.
The demos, yes.
So can we briefly talk about the elevator?
Yes.
The elevator in this
Go
mod,
ahead.
does it take 14 seconds?
It's 14
after
seconds.
triggering to to
Mm.
load the next map. So the theme you're gonna see here is get to the end of the level as quick as possible, trigger that elevator, and now it's a 14-second auto scroller where we can do whatever we want. And so during that 14 seconds, it's
some of
like
it's-
trying to get the camera
Some of it's still
somewhere,
pretty
so-
tight though. Like it's 14
Yeah.
seconds, but you've got to do all this crazy setup every map, you know. So it's
Yeah,
quite-
some maps
quite
were
tedious
really
to
tight
get
on
some of
time.
it. Yeah, but it's worth it though for this time you save in the next map. Also, I'm gonna find.
Yeah, so half a second, like
It's not 16,
using
it's
one
14.
camera to save half a second doesn't sound like a lot, but consider that we've got how many maps? Is it like 20?
It's like 30 nearly. It's crazy.
Like 30 or something.
Yeah,
like
29
that.
maps.
Something like that. So
It's-
overall, you end up saving about 11 to 12 seconds by
Oh, it's segment
by,
10.
by doing this every single.
So I should have.
And the
so
camera allows us to do some other really fancy stuff that we'll see later on.
which segment
Actually,
is it?
we'll see it in just the next map.
Yeah.
Um,
The next map we start like in the mid-launch. It's crazy. Oh, that's not the
is
next
it-
map. That's the map after. That's the
so I'm gonna do overlay.
Shout out to Yuxpa, by the way. He did all the overlay stuff.
So which demos are we looking at?
So it should be 10,
10.
but-
I just checked. It's 10.
It's 10.
but it's entirely possible because it says it's
Oh,
done
that's
by
not the
me.
right
but-
one though.
Yeah,
10.
that's not the right.
It's 10 uncrafted 187.
Wait, what is that? I don't know what that's
At least I think it is. Unless I.
Oh, yes.
What demo?
Play 09. See what that is.
No, I had the wrong demo.
I see.
Yeah, there we go.
So this demo here with the overlay.
So yeah, slow that down just a little bit.
Now I need to actually do like which port are we blue, right?
Yeah.
Well, it's already doing it for you. Oh no, it's not. It's not. Yeah, blue.
And
There we
then
are. So this is what it looks like from the point of view of like the portal offset, which we didn't explain.
Slow it down a bit. Slow
I
it
can
down a
also do
Get
this.
to that.
bit. No, Columbia, slow it down a bit.
Ah, there we go. That's better.
Yeah, I can do like 17% speed.
Oh
Right,
yeah.
that's good.
So we shoot a portal that lands
Lands out of bounds, right? And
there.
that's why you
It
fall
lands right
forward.
there.
And then you shoot a portal under the elevator, I believe. Or no, you
No,
shoot it
it's-
next to the elevator. That gives us collision with the ground underneath the elevator,
Yes.
and then
Well,
that
not
allows us to
collision,
shoot a
it just
camera off
lets
the
you-
wall.
it just puts the portal in front of you. Because I guess we have to explain the offset thing, right?
Well, we already kind of explained that in the
We kinda
video.
explained it.
It's
Just to sum up, if you're behind your save glitch portal, then the shot comes out of the other portal, and if you're not behind it, then it comes out where you'd expect. That's basically the one sentence explanation.
yeah. Actually, explaining all of this in depth would
It's
take
very
up quite a bit. So let's just show this stuff with the overlay and then move on.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So, if
do
you
we
wanna
just move
Replay
on?
it one more time,
We'll do
Calamity.
questions later.
Calamity, if you want to replay it one more time, I would just like to point out that the top left is the actual view that
Yes.
is
I
in
can
the
switch
video,
between.
and yeah, so just for the sake of it, put the view, like the actual run view in the top left. This is sort of the view, like the portal shot view. The main one is where we're trying to aim to give us auto collision and stuff. So it's just a separation. So one's the main view, one's the save glitch view.
Yeah.
So.
It's quite convenient. This specific seg, the view cell was quite easy. It's just going to stare at the same point and then look up of it. Some of the segments later we use the overlay to kind of cheat because
It's not
the save glitch
cheating.
it's not cheating. It's a segment to run. It's just a visual, yeah. But it's the save glitches are kind of complicated. So to make the visual lineup easier, we use this to just be able to see what we're shooting at. I think.
All right, cool.
there we
Let's
go.
carry on in the sync part.
Yes.
Yeah, then here we got save glitch. We threw the camera into underneath the elevator before, and then
Nice
now
60.
the camera's there,
There it is.
and so we can just pick it up and carry, do stuff with it.
This part
Here
looks
we
like a
still
bit of
have
a mess.
save glitch, so let's pause
Yeah.
right here.
Right.
So here we're preserving save glitch into the next map. And so it turns out that the quickest way to do this map, we were originally thinking of doing like a camera launch. There's a couple of other options we were considering. This is the most sensible and probably the quickest way of doing this.
Yeah.
So what ends up happening? You can shoot a portal out of bounds here. The fake reload allows you to shoot it half a second earlier, and then you can peek to underneath the elevator. So let's show that right here. Like so, and then you can do a PQR, which is basically a re-entry from out of bounds back into inbounds.
Can we do this
The way-
frame by
the way
frame?
both of those were. Yeah, we should. Let's just go back. The way both the peak and I'll just go back like 5 seconds. That's not 5 seconds. We're at-
That's like
that's
you're way too far
Where are
forward
we?
now.
How did we go so far forward? Here we are. Okay.
There you are.
okay.
A little bit more. Okay.
There you go. Yeah. That's a bit.
Yeah. So frame by frame. So the way peaks and PQRs work is portals have a travel time. So like here we just move back to the other side, and then
I'm not actually
That's
seeing
it.
the frame by frame movement.
oh yeah,
Can I? I can do it.
yeah, you can do it. Maybe frame advanced doesn't quite sync up, right?
There we go.
It does. It's just a little laggy. But yeah, the because the portal has a travel time. You have time to move to the other side of it. But
Right,
the
so
game
here
kinda-
we dropped the camera.
Oh yeah, of course.
Oh yeah, the
Um,
camera goes into the blue portal. That's actually really
Oh.
important.
And it falls out of the orange side here, and it falls down into the room.
Mhm.
And here you can see the underside of the elevator, and we're gonna shoot a portal on that, and then quickly move back through the portal before it lands.
Yeah. And oh yeah, this segment's a nightmare, right? Because the orange portal tries to eject you out.
Yes.
So you have to like counter strafe back into the portal, but not too much, because then you'll like fall out of bounds. So it's
Yeah,
like
this is a bit ridiculous because this was kind of one of the first times where we really tried heavily competing
Yeah.
for a single segment, and I think we spent a cumulative of something like 15 hours total working
Yeah,
on just this one segment.
And I wouldn't. I was kind of holding the run hostage. I wouldn't let anyone.
No,
stop
because
grinding.
we
I was
spent-
like,
we
no, we have to
spent-
save like 4 ticks, and we eventually gave up and said it's good enough.
No, we didn't save those 4 ticks.
Yeah.
You can
Yeah,
see
we
the
really
cameras.
said this for-
You can see the cameras falling down here on the left.
But yeah,
Yeah.
this is a really good segment.
And now
actually.
you have to time this portal shot to perfection as well.
Yeah.
Yeah. So then we trigger the elevator, and then we need to go back and pick up the camera because we'll be using that in the next map.
Actually, should we explain PQR?
Oh, of course. This segment is well. This shot here isn't on cap. You have to delay it, right?
Yeah, you have to
That's
delay it a little
another
bit.
nightmare, yeah. Oh,
Because the
God,
other
it's
portal
so
is
precise.
the other portal is still traveling by the time we shoot the next
Yeah.
one.
If you shoot that one immediately, we'll actually just cancel the first portal. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. All right. Keep playing until the camera flies.
And here, yeah, we go through the portal, and then it closes. Right as we go through, that teleports us inbounds.
Yeah, that puts us back in bounds. It's
The
called
way
the
that
P-
works is you cut in half, so the game sort of bumps you in.
Alright, we went a bit too far there, I think.
Well, no, that's fine. We
That's
need to
alright,
take
we
this
just-
camera, so
Yeah.
then we camera fly.
So you
Cameras
can
have
just kind of
one
go up walls with cameras like that, and
Yeah.
then you can just fly up. Now, before we started, like we had no idea how to do that, so we're just gonna have to quickly figure that
Yeah.
out. Turns out there's just
here
like
we
one
also
perfect.
Gets better.
What?
What?
Everyone just said something. At the same time.
Everyone, yeah,
And then everyone
stop
shut up.
every time.
Okay. Yes.
Yeah. So here we're also going to preserve save glitch in the next map. It's very important. We'll explain in a bit why that is. So we need to get save glitch. Well, in the previous map, we were able to get save glitch and then jump effectively to underneath the elevator, but here we can't do that. There's very few portal surfaces on this map, actually.
Yeah.
So the only way to be able to do this one. Oh, actually, I'll quickly point out the reason that we were able to do this map like we did is because the orange portal in this map opened right away.
Oh,
Yeah,
the
it already
next
spawns
map,
open.
There's
the next
actually
map,
a
you have
trigger.
to trigger it. Yeah.
Yeah.
I forgot about that actually. That's why the next map is the cool. Well, we'll see it.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's a Micah-geddon.
Oh yeah, the
yeah.
next map is. I apologize again. I cannot profusely apologize enough for how much hassle I must have caused with the way I did the next map, because I did so many little tiny segments that just screwed up the camera.
Should we just keep playing the video?
Yeah, keep
Yeah,
going.
so we get Rubby here. Yeah, we already kind of explained how that works. It turns out Rubby, like
Look. There's I'm an X segment right there. One of his 2 segments.
let's skip back just a bit there
Yeah. That view.
to right about here. Yeah, what the thing is with Rubby, if you actually like look at the progression of Rubbies that we did through the run, at first we started like we had this like awkward setup. We had to like jump on top of the camera, and we like gave this a few seconds of attempts. But later on, it's like you just touch the camera and we're good to go. So we got a lot.
Yeah, just touch the camera. It doesn't matter.
Also, I like the first few rubbies on cameras were all me because no one else knew how to do it, and then eventually other people figured it out.
I mean, I still don't know how to do it.
Yeah, I
It
don't know
was
how to
pretty
do
much
that.
all uncrafted for the rest.
Yeah.
After
Right. So yeah. Here we need to hit a trigger to open the orange portal because we can't do anything with just the blue portal. So we fly up, we trigger the orange portal, and then we try to get under the elevator as quickly as possible.
So right
So
there,
the
we
reason I
went
have
up.
that tiny segment there. Oh, quick! The reason I have the tiny segment there is, as Uncrafted said, like we were quite like baby to like a lot of these setup at the beginning, and then we got like better and better. But I've done similar stuff in other runs, so I was just trying to orientate the camera in the right way for the other guys so they could do this camera.
Yeah, with
fly.
the camera
I
flying.
initially.
The orientation is
initially
very
had this
specific.
Yeah, so you have to have it at like this weird 70-degree like angle, but there's other angles that work as well, so it's sort of hit and miss.
And there's other angles that look exactly the same but don't work. It's really strange.
Yeah. So,
Anyway.
because this was all found on Chamber 18 the first time, but then I had the next segment, but then they did the fly.
Yeah, but then I stole it from you. So thanks for letting
So
me steal that.
we did the fly up just to open the portal up here, and then.
Oh
We'll
yeah,
slow
and
down Chamber
another thing to note is that you can't just fly up willy-nilly, because otherwise you're gonna end up outside of the elevator, and when the level transitions, you are outside of the trigger that transitions, like that'll let the level transition.
Yeah,
so
and then the
level
map
just
just
won't
doesn't
transition,
change.
or like
Yeah.
you won't have your portal gun, something stupid like that. So it's actually a very, very precise like place where you need to fly up and hit.
As we fly up, we trigger it, and then we shoot a portal under ourselves, and then under the elevator. It all happened so
I need to
quickly.
explain. Why is it not? Oh, there we go. Yeah, I need to explain some stuff in this chamber. Where are we? Gone too far back. There we are. So like here, I shoot here, and then like there's this view jump.
Can I frame advance a bit?
Oh yeah, I'm frame advancing, but I forgot that it. Frame advance still there's a view jump.
Yeah, there's a view jump here.
Yeah, the reason that is, as I discovered as I was doing this segment, that if you save in mode, you'll just pop out the other portal immediately. But that makes your view rotate awkwardly, and that makes the next part hard. So I saved and loaded twice. So there's actually 2 view jumps, but I think the render kind of masks it. It's really terrible. And then shortly after that, if you play it again up until the point where I do the reportal, I also segmented like right as I did it, and that gave me an extra boost out as well.
I'm just looking at this PQR right here. We need to time this
Oh, yeah.
portal perfectly as well, and then.
Oh yeah, the way I timed that perfectly was I just adjusted the segment time so like I had exactly half a second to shoot.
Yes.
Oh
that
my
way-
god.
So yeah.
And we needed- now we
I
needed-
didn't time that well. I just held left click. But,
Yeah. Now we needed a
and
bit
then,
of height
over
to get
here
up.
We need to get up onto the rim because we need to preserve save glitch into the next map yet again. So here we do a portal, a reportal up, onto the rim. It turns out you don't need to do that, but
you don't need to, but it was easier. And this is another view jump as a result because I saved right as I did it. So very sorry, guys.
Actually, this is my
also-
favorite segment right here.
Yeah,
Just
I
your
have to
movement
time it.
after
Yeah.
the reportals. Literally my favorite segment in the entire.
I had to time the reportal with like the elevator going up, so I wouldn't just hit my head on it. And then yeah, this movement's quite cool actually. I'm quite pleased with it.
And now we get the energy orb that comes into the next map with us.
Oh yeah, that was just a luck thing, but I'm glad it happened because it's quite funny and it's
Yeah. So we couldn't figure out how to get to the next elevator quickly. We tried like void clipping and stuff, but the orange portal doesn't. It's
Oh
on a
god, I
map.
forgot about that.
We tried so hard to skip this dialogue, but we just couldn't.
Yeah.
So now we had to wait through it. Also, nice decals on the bottom of the elevator there. It makes perfect sense.
There's good news about the dialogue though, which is it starts anywhere. Like it starts down here, so you can still skip stuff.
And also we safe glitch this whole time, so we can just walk through
Yes.
the wall.
But save glitch just doesn't give you any effect until both portals are open, so we need to wait for that, unfortunately.
Now some micro segments again.
Here's
And now-
the
So nice. I really like that.
Here's
Oh yeah, the camera tossing thing. Yeah, I decided to have fun with it.
it looks cool though.
Yeah.
Anyway, now the
Behind you and went during contact again.
this is the next trick is the thing gets called SPD. It's not actually an SPD. It's a safe glitch collision boost.
Yes.
So what happens is you walk into the camera at a precise angle, and if you're lucky, you just get both levels like that. Also,
Oh, this.
we get our first tribute to Maddie C.
The legendary Matty C.
Oh, I didn't even notice.
Yes. I sign out as C with the camera with the mouse movement
Oh, there
in
you
memory
go.
of Maddie C.
If anyone
was-
doesn't know who Matty C is,
He was tragically killed by a camera,
he was tragically killed by a camera. Yeah.
so we paid tribute to him.
This whole run is a tribute to him.
Yeah,
we're
yeah.
using cameras just for him.
Yeah. Well, it's mainly the one camera, isn't it? It's Karen, but we'll get to that.
Well, so no. How many? We haven't been keeping track. How many Karens have we used already?
I think we're currently on Karen -1.
Oh, okay.
I think
okay.
that's
We're-
second.
we started with -2, right?
Yeah, something like
Yeah.
that.
Okay.
Yeah, Karen's the
Um,
third camera, I think. And
No,
then-
next map we get Karen 1.0, so this is actually Karen 0.
Oh,
yes.
of course, it's that camera as well. I forgot. And
Yeah,
So-
yeah. So here we do a.
There's not really a name for this. You just go in the top of the portal just as the level changes, and you just kind of get stuck.
Yeah, because if you
Yeah.
chill up here, your portal gun disappears, right?
Yeah, and if you clip, if you do a save load to clip into the brush, you can't shoot a portal on yourself.
Yeah, it's too much. So we use the portal to get like a height adjustment. Yeah.
Yes. So now we're kind of stuck. So the level does change, and we do keep our portal gun, but
This
we
is
can
not
still
very
shoot a
good
portal
dual
under.
gun, by the way.
This, yes.
So we can shoot a portal there, and
Yeah,
then
just
I
waiting for the orange gun.
you're waiting for
Basically,
the
shoot the portal.
yeah, you're waiting for the portal to open, and I do a precise setup save. So all Imanex has to do is hold down left click for the next segment.
Yeah, yeah. All you have to do is hold down left click. How hard could that possibly
You also have
be?
to aim and be good. Yeah.
If the aim and move right,
These
just
are my favorite types of segments. Like, I don't know why these are my favorite segments, but I always tend to get like the really tight portal cap ones.
Yeah.
So if you hold down left click, basically, it'll shoot all the portals on cap, which is like what 33 to 34 ticks.
yeah, once every
It's
half
like
second.
Half a second. Yeah.
Yeah. So I guess we'll just play it. So you can
Yeah,
see
just
how
play
quick it is, right? Yeah.
Yeah. Thanks for doing this, by the way, because none of us. Like, I tried to do it, but I was like a second slower than you.
Yeah.
Yeah,
so
that proves that Imanex
was
is just a
basically
segmental god.
Yeah, you caught me at a good time as well, because this was between some of my classes as well, and you're like, here's a segment for you, and I was like, alright. So, I guess if we'll play it again, is there a way that you could just frame advance it? Oh, yeah, like
Yeah.
it's very, very quick. It's basically
Well, I can frame advance it.
180 turns, so...
I can frame advance it.
Yeah.
There's a few broken frames here and there. There's not really anything you can do.
Oh. Yeah, portals are hard.
But
to
yeah,
render
you peek a
well.
portal down there, and then you
peek, and then
you walk back through, the portal changes, and then
peek.
you have to shoot under the elevator there. and then we do the PQR back and
Yeah.
bounce. Yes.
I guess basically the hardest part about that is it's happening...
Explanation
Oh,
stream.
God. It's happening that quickly while you're doing the segment, and there's a few different spots you could shoot out of bounds. So if you're slightly off on the first shot, that's going to
Or
put you
just out of
majorly off for
bounds.
the next shot.
We're just out of
Yeah.
bounds. Yes, so route credit to Tango 2B for this next bit, actually. Like, literally, I'm not joking. Route credit to Tango 2B, yeah. Because in the
This
original...
was used in the original.
In the original run, yes,
of
and
this,
he
which
gave
is-
route credit to...
How long is the original run of this? It's like 22 minutes.
Yeah, something like that. It's something 20.
It's
It doesn't use save
25, I
glitch,
think.
that's why.
It's somewhat slow, but
So
alright.
what I do here is I do a pause buffering
The pause
thing.
probably didn't help you, but let's pretend.
No,
that it
but
It's,
the point is we get a portal boost,
yeah.
did. Yeah.
which can happen randomly, but pausing at a tick perfect time will make it more consistent.
Yeah.
It just gives a bunch of speed. Let's just fly to the portal gun.
Very cool.
It's very weird.
And then I swim in the goo there.
That's cool.
and then
Yes,
I
this
get-
is
I
the
get,
legendary one
this
save
is-
load.
Yes, this is legendary. This
Oh,
is
yeah.
the one and only time I've ever been able to get a Rubby in a single save load.
Amazing.
I have no clue why, and I don't know how, but I've done a lot of Rubbies in this run, and this is the only one I've ever been able to get in one save
It
load.
just works.
It just
Yep.
works. Yes.
Good game, Valve. All right, moving on.
Yeah.
And while all of this is happening, the elevator is already going up because we triggered it
Yes.
early. So we really have to.
This is one of the tight ones where we actually don't have a lot of time to do
We
it.
actually
Yeah,
really-
I'll take my sweet ass time with this one.
We get there just in time.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like just barely perfect.
We figured the camera.
You could see, so right there. Let's backtrack just a few seconds there. So the camera was left behind actually, and then we PQR
It's-
into the
it's right
elevator.
there.
We PQR so that the portal's next to the camera, so that way when we get under the elevator,
There it is.
yeah, we can
Then
pick
we
up the
can pick it
camera
up.
through the portal and then
Yeah.
carry on with the next level. And,
And-
by
and
this
when-
point, I
when
think
you
we already
see-
have quantum crouch.
Yeah. When you see like the rainbow thing, like the texture changes, that's when the next map loads. Right.
Yeah.
Yes.
Quantum crouch.
Oh, of course.
Yes, we did that to make it
We
easier.
did that.
Also, chat, is your
yeah.
brain melting yet?
Quantum crouch.
Quantum
Quantum
crouch
crouch.
is where you're crouching, but it looks like you're standing, and you can put your head through stuff. That's the...
Let's see if I can pick out the moment. I just went a bit too. No, I can go back frame by frame. So the quantum crouch also called Schrodinger's crouch.
The player becomes separated from the camera, allowing the player
Yes.
to walk
I mean,
through
in
walls.
this case, yes.
So there's this one frame where I can
I'm
shoot
more
the portal under there.
Is it one frame?
Well, there's one frame where the no,
okay.
it's a few frames, but it's a very
Yeah,
short
so,
window.
Shoutouts to Calamity for doing these few hard segs. So this
Yeah.
is actually before we discovered the optimal under elevator.
That's
So
it's a
this-
shitty route. It's a shitty route.
It's a shitty route, but this is actually the best under elevator route that was known for
Yeah.
well up until now actually.
Up until now.
Yeah, so it's used in the vanilla game, but the problem with this is there's only, like, if you do it without quantum crouch, there's only one frame, and during that one frame, you normally have to flick your mouse. So, like, when you go through the ground portal, and if you come out the wall portal, your orientation for the camera sort of moves a bit, and while it does that, you clip above the map, and so there's not much time to, like, sort of aim out of bounds where you want to shoot that portal. Quantum crouch gives you a little bit more buffer, but other than that, these segments are very horrible, and, like, you never want to do them, so...
Yeah. This is really hard to do. So thanks
Then
to
again,
Calamity for doing
There's
these
yeah
few
there's
ones.
there's a lot happening. There's a lot happening in this one segment.
Yeah.
Camera shots are hard as well. I don't know if they're easier than.
Camera struts are
Or not.
way easier, like
Really?
infinitely easier. I have not been able to do under
I didn't know
elevator,
any.
like standard under elevator single time. I can do camera struts all day long.
Well, the problem with standard elevator there as well, even if you get the shot, you need to catch yourself on the wall there, and then you
Yeah.
get the peak. So there's a lot more moving parts as well there.
True.
Yeah, it's
a more
really
portal
difficult.
shots as well.
So this is the next strat that we
It's the same
found.
amount of portal shots.
We do a revy again. We get up on that rim, and then
Yeah, and then we do the same thing under standard under elevator struts here.
but instead
this one's
of
slightly different.
instead of doing the peeking your head through the ceiling, we actually just walk through the wall.
Yeah,
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
And this is eventually what became under elevator electric boogaloo,
Under elevator to electric, yeah, which is yeah.
which is what's used in
What's the world record? Yeah.
the world record
RTA.
RTA. Yeah.
yeah, that's true.
And that was
The vanilla.
shout outs to Can't Even as well, because I came up with like some ideas for that, and he kind of took it all the way to its logical conclusion. It was really cool.
It's beautiful. Anyway,
The other thing is actually, I'm not about this first standard elevator. So actually, question for you guys: is it on cap?
yes.
I'll have
Okay.
to watch it.
Yes,
no,
it-
not this one specifically. Like in general, is that under elevator strat able to be done on cap?
Oh, yeah. It's normally
yeah.
done on cap. It's dependent on how far that other elevator is, though. If it's across
sure,
the map,
yeah.
you are required to wait, and normally that waiting occurs when you catch yourself on the wall.
Yeah.
Also, you can't segment the wait to try and time it, because that delays the portal. Haha.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Ah,
So
yes.
this all has to be done in one go.
Yeah.
Also
And,
here,
like,
the movement for this segment is kind of awkward because you need to move out quite far to be able to shoot the portal there. But then when
Yeah,
you
Don't
are
go
that
out
far,
too far.
if you go out too far, you fall off. So what I did is I went out to the point where I could shoot, and then I needed to crouch to be able to get just straight back because I was already
Yeah.
falling.
And,
And
like,
that's
you know,
why
again-
that's why this is so difficult.
Yeah, and again, you might think like, oh, half a second per portal shot. That's not too bad. Well, we do like 200 to 300 portal shots in this entire run.
Yeah.
So that's a lot of time.
Yeah. Yeah. So you have to be optimal.
Due to
Kinda adds up.
mandatory
Yeah.
scheduled maintenance, the
Yep.
appropriate
Actually,
Just don't
is
be
this-
anywhere than-
Oh no, guys, we missed something.
yeah.
The broken particles in the
Oh,
previous
yeah.
map.
Did we
I
already
have-
miss that?
Oh, that was chamber 10. Yeah, we.
Yeah.
see,
Oh,
don't
we
notice
did
it,
miss
it's
it.
not that bad. I must apologize again. One of my segments was done with 65 FOV. And if you-
Yeah, let's jump to that.
If you look really hard, I can't even see it, but apparently if you look really hard, you can see the particles of the gun are a bit broken.
There you
Yeah,
go.
here it is.
Oh, yeah, it's
The
right
particles
there.
on the portal gun
There's
are
all
broken.
kinds of hackery involved in fixing the.
Yeah.
Oh, I see it now. Actually, yeah.
Yeah, shout outs to
Shoutouts
Juxpa.
to Juxpa. Shoutouts to Juxpa all the
Juxpa,
way.
yeah.
Yeah.
He saved us really with this.
He did a
Yes,
bunch
he-
My
of-
he-
favorite part about this as well was you basically messaged me 2 videos and you said, "Can you see the difference between these?" And I said, "Nope." And then you're like, "That's good. It's going in the run." And I was like, "All right."
Alright. yeah. Yeah, because what was it? They had to fix the field of view, but it didn't. The particles were stuck, and no one could fix that.
Yeah.
So it's alright.
Yeah, I tried some like demo editing and hackery, but I I couldn't figure that out. I think I might be able to figure it out now, but
Demos are a
definitely
mystery.
require a lot of effort.
Oh yeah, also shoutouts to Demo Hackery. We've done a lot of that for some reason. And we have now learned a lot of things about demos, which, yeah. Also that Fizzler hit there, that's
Oh yeah, that's a great
another way of
strat.
doing that. It's just for fun, you know.
Yeah, we had time to do that, so yeah.
Yeah,
'Cause
yeah.
I
So
think the
you
camera
fizz-
thing's faster, but
Yeah, but it doesn't really matter here. We have
Yeah.
a lot of time to wait. And
Yeah.
the other thing to note here about save glitch is that you fizzle both portals, but your save glitch is kind of quote unquote paused. And as soon as you place both portals back, it gets re-enabled.
oh
just like
yeah. So the other thing is when you have both portals there and the next map loads, you can still walk through walls. Like the state is maintained completely.
Exactly.
Yeah. Now this is basically the same thing as in the previous map, but the elevator's in a different place. I spent like 5 hours on this segment
Yeah,
Like, in-
this
in
was
one day.
really hard.
in one day.
Yeah.
I guess is it because the floor extends like further down than what it looks like there?
It doesn't.
Is that why it's
Uh,
hard or no?
No, it's just
No,
it's
just
just
gonna
having to
flip
do
around
the
from
180 the 180 flick.
Oh, okay,
Yeah.
right.
But also the having to step out far enough to shoot and not just follow it down.
Yeah, and then
But also doing the one
yeah.
flick.
And then you have to crouch and move back, and then you have to
Yeah.
do all those things. I
Yeah,
spent like
it's a
5
lot of
hours in one
bullets.
day while I had the Daytona 24 hours in the background. That was in February, guys.
That was yeah.
Yeah,
This run's been
jeez.
worked on for a while. a lot
Alright,
of work.
keep playing.
Yeah.
Is this the last standard?
No,
model?
yeah, this is where we get to the shitty route TM.
Alright, well, yeah, the shitty route.
So
let's pause it
yeah.
there. Shoutouts to Calamity for discovering this shitty route. It's actually optimal, and it's fantastic in every
Well,
way.
as
It
far as we
allows us
know.
to do some
Because
extra
I just
crazy
posted
stuff.
I posted a video in our Discord that had it was just titled shitty route video, and it was a
Oh.
video of me doing this. What you're about to see.
Yeah. So yeah, you camera fly on top of the second rim, and it turns out that all of this is not solid, and then you can just do that.
Yes,
So-
It turns out you can shoot portals on the back of the elevator.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
not on the other side. So the great thing about this is that the first portal you shoot here is underneath the next elevator, which is fantastic on the huge maps because it means that by the time that portal has already traveled, then you shoot your second portal, and then after that you PQR. So you effectively have an extra half second of portal travel time, which allows you to do much larger maps on cap. So this is ideal for that.
And also, it's really easy.
Yes, that too.
Yeah.
It's
Really,
so
really,
hard.
really, it's completely free.
It's
a
still
monkey
hard.
could do it. Yeah.
It's still hard, but it's much easier compared to.
You can do this in 5 minutes instead of 5 hours.
the standard elevator strat.
It's-
Exactly.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
the
a
thing.
monkey
I
could
would
do it.
like a
That's how you know
day.
that I can do it.
I mean, I could
spend
do
like
it
a day
too.
doing the alt strat. But
Yeah.
like with this, you could do it in a few hours. Like it's like
Yeah,
a
and-
good bit of speed tech. So
We have something like 15 or 20 under elevator maps where we end up doing this, and this strat has saved our butts so much because we have
Yeah.
to do this a lot.
Also, on another note, this would save time in a portal task.
Oh yeah, a lot of it.
yeah,
Putting
Like,
out there.
in the vanilla portal, like out of bounds tasks would save like 5 seconds.
Yeah.
And another thing to note is that there's a camera here. So
Oh,
Yeah, it's right there on the right.
Right enough.
it's right there. So we use a fake reload, but the camera stays in.
Camera
But the
stays with
camera
us.
stays
This is
in
Karen the
reality.
camera.
Yeah. So we're gonna use that in the next map. This is Karen abuse the run.
So we have to go back. So what happens here is we go outside, and it happens very quickly. Actually, maybe can I show this in game?
Yeah. Yeah, you could slow the demo or something.
No, I can just load a save.
Oh yeah.
What save would this be?
I don't know.
Um,
what map are we on? G13. Let's take a look. So this is the beginning of G13. We can find out. This would be 73, 72, 73. We'll find out. I don't know what you're trying to show. You're trying to show the vertical wall warp, or
Yes.
Oh yeah, that's a trick. That we
yeah,
use.
73.
Oh, okay.
Oh, I don't have that save.
Ah,
Can I get another map where I do have to save?
Calamity.
You can just show
Just do
vertical
the
wall warp
segment on
anywhere.
stream.
Oh yeah, I can just show the vertical wall warp.
just load any save and yeah.
Just load the map. It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
I mean,
So-
you're
That's
already
actually
on
the
the
main,
side there.
thing. Just load.
Yeah,
just
so
load a map.
when you're outside the map, like out of bounds, and you in the portal, and you just save load, it warps you down.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So just.
And when you
shoot it.
jump, yeah, I
When you
did
jump,
it.
it warps you up.
Yeah, when you jump, it warps
Shout
you
outs
up.
to me. Haha.
But yeah, so that's really convenient for a re-entry method because from doing the shitty strat TM, we end up with a portal on the back of the elevator. We actually end up with 2 portals on the back of the elevator. And so then, if we play the demo when we'll get back there in slow motion, what you'll see is that what ends up happening is that you trigger under the elevator, then you place a portal on the ground, you go through it, you vertical wall warp, now you're back in bounds. You can get the camera, both of your portals are in bounds, you can do a rubby, everyone's happy, continue the shitty strat.
Woo!
Yay! So yeah, you would go down, you would place the other portal, and you would grab the camera, and you'd be over there again. Great.
Alright,
playing.
Show that.
Damn, cool.
Oh, this is really smooth. I really like this.
Save glitch.
Oh yeah,
That's
this is the
fine.
like mostly my map.
And the good thing is you get fake reload there as well, and then you just get to keep the same camera every single map.
So yeah, the next 2 maps are just exactly the same for everyone.
Alright, so save glitch, camera fly, the new strat. There's a fake
Yeah,
reload in there.
I'll point that out. Oh god, I don't know. We'll just play from here.
Yeah.
I'll point out again that this strat is optimal for large maps, as you can see right here. That elevator is really far away. So with normal strats, you wouldn't be able to do this on cap. But here,
Also, if you went from the bottom, if you went from the bottom, there wouldn't be line of sight, I think.
yeah, that's also
Yeah.
true.
This is much better
This
for
gives
line
you
of
a
sight.
lot more freedom with line of sight as well.
You're actually closer as well, which is nice.
If you imagine doing like a clipping glitch there, you would have to like
Yeah.
You have to
shoot,
flick
like, 2 other
up.
portals and then that one, and you'd have to. It would be way harder and it would be slower. So
Yeah.
You gotta flick like 90 degrees in 1 frame, which is very difficult. And it's gonna be on the correct frame as well, so...
We're gonna leave that to the Taz at Imanex.
I do not like those segments, dude.
Now, in this map we get something different, because we don't do portal shots in the next map.
Do we not?
oh,
No,
a
this is-
miracle by the
It's
way.
3
It's a
3:16.
Yeah. So actually,
Oh!
I would like to show the route video that you made for this, if that's possible. So I'm gonna find that while you guys talk about this.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's a miracle that any segmented run got made with the clipping glitch. I don't know. I mean, I guess PDP error died, but I don't know. Yeah, sorry, not PDP or PD horror. Yeah, that one died and got replaced with the task. But there were multiple other
that's
ones
exactly right.
that people managed to actually complete, and it's kind of astonishing when you think about it.
But yeah, I found
No, we
it.
don't have to do that.
Okay, so Calamity here, I'm sending you this message straight to you.
I guess you don't have to stick it. You can just play on the stream.
Yeah. So there was a few route variations that we basically came up with, and this was Calamity came up with no, I came up with the idea that you could start on top of the elevator. I don't know.
Which
who
is on
came
the
up
right.
with, camera flying from the bottom.
That was me, I think.
Yeah, and so we compared them, and they're like there's a few ticks of difference between them, but we have a lot of route videos like this where we just did the strats and then we compared them to see how close they are to each other.
These videos are lined up to the first frame where we see out of bounds. See, they're pretty much identical, but the segment I actually ended up getting for this was much faster, so...
I think the important thing you got to mention as well is that this is quicker than any portal routes.
Oh yeah,
as well.
absolutely.
Yeah,
That's the reason why
you're
we're doing
skipping-
this.
Yeah,
want
you're
to
skipping the
skip
travel time and the 2 portal shots.
It's
or 2 or 3,
especially
so-
it's the half-second timer. Like you're talking
Okay,
about
if I just play this real quick, you can see how quick it is.
It's like half a second, right? Yeah.
Yeah, I shot the portal literally on cap, and
Yeah.
so it was half a second between the
half a
2
second.
elevators.
Yeah, so the map transitions while we're still in the elevator, and then as soon as it transitions, then we can just fly straight through the wall because we have save glitch
Yeah,
and
it's-
into
Yeah,
the
like
next
the-
map.
Yeah,
just happened
I actually
before
started flying before the map changed.
Yeah, exactly.
If I quickly go back in favorite events, I can point out the moment the map changed.
Yeah, you can definitely see it. It's like you can see the transition.
Yeah,
of your
this
head
is right
like
here.
in the wall.
This is right here.
If
This
you
is a
pause
transition.
at the right time,
You can see there's,
when
there's-
you broke the camera's heart.
You can see there's one frame where there's no crosshair, apparently.
Oh,
yeah,
that's the thing
yeah.
that happens sometimes. Yeah, it's weird.
It happens every time. Yay!
So this is how we can tell.
You didn't.
And also-
I guess
also,
editing another one in would be too much.
I lost the camera during the level transition, so I had to re-grab it and then drop it again to get the fake reload.
Oh yeah, that's right.
And I
Oh
flicked,
yeah.
and I just for the viewers, I flicked the mouse up so you can actually see what's going on.
Oh wait a second. That. Oh no. I was gonna say waste your text, but you're not relying on portals. Anyway. You're just shooting the portal to
Yeah,
not fly
exactly.
out. So,
Yeah,
yeah,
exactly.
it's fast anyway.
As of editing another one, well, I have some experience now, and editing a jumpless run is going to be much easier, which is what we're doing next, by the way.
Oh yeah, Jumpless is
Oh,
coming
yeah.
up in like a year.
Yeah.
Oh no.
Like
By the
we're,
way,
we're already on 05, it's fine.
Oh yeah, the camera flies through the thing here, does it not?
Yeah, maybe,
sort of does.
sort of.
Oh, it does.
Almost.
Yeah, it does. Second try. By the way, uncrafted Nymex, press play once. Oh, never mind. Never mind. That's
It's
fine.
alright.
Yeah, they had the red text, but it's gone.
So yeah, there it just comes through on its own. It's just very lucky that that happens.
Karen was feeling kind.
That it's very. You say it's very lucky, but that has happened every single time that you've done these segments.
Yeah.
What can I say? I'm just lucky boy. Yeah. So
I think as the camera bounces around a lot, it tends to eventually fall out.
Yeah, so that
not
was
always,
the
not
thing.
always.
Not always, but a lot of the time.
So,
Yeah, so now.
now we're coming up to a trick that I found. At least I think it's a new trick, and I've named it the Calamity Heat, and I'll just show what it looks like.
I don't know what this is.
That's a good name. Oh, this is just a massive. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, nice.
So what I did there is
So if you,
And the
if you
proper
touch a
camera comes
portal
up.
as you're re-entering endbounds, it'll just boost you.
yes, no.
Okay.
What I did is
What?
I touched the
What?
camera as I was halfway inside the wall, and it that gives a boost sometimes.
Yeah, because if you're touching a prop while you have save glitch, it's gonna like Radiohead, right? It's gonna try
Yeah.
and prevent you from
Radiohead.
going out of bounds.
Yeah.
That's kind of the same idea. It
Oh,
like
I
pushes
see.
you inbounds and gives you speed sometimes.
Yeah.
Weird.
And this was the only launch I got that went in the direction of the elevator. And
Oh, yeah.
I tried for several hours
Yeah.
after that. I couldn't get it again, and this saved a total 9 ticks over shooting portals. So worth it.
Wow.
There you go.
Amazing.
It looks better.
Oh yeah, and also I have a glitch named after me, even though nobody knows about
Named it
it.
yourself, but yeah,
Yeah.
sure, we'll look at it.
Map specific glitch.
No, we use it. No, we use it again. We
Oh,
use it
that's-
again.
Yeah.
Oh,
Good,
dude.
yeah.
There's another point where it's used.
Ooh.
Oh yeah, uncrafted. This one's all yours.
Here we go. Okay, let's actually skip to the next map. Let's just play through this right now, and
Yeah.
then let's skip to the next map because I don't remember exactly what goes on here.
Oh, it's another vertical wall
warfare.
warm. Shouts to me again. Uh-huh.
Okay, yes, I know exactly what happens here. So,
Yes.
this map is really dumb. It's hard to explain why, but basically, one of the reasons why is because this mod has really, really dummy thick walls.
Oh yeah.
So in this case, we actually don't have a direct line of sight to the next under elevator. So we spent ages trying to come up with a way to do this quickly. I believe we originally started with 5 portals, then we had 4 portals and a vertical wall warp, then we had
Oh, yeah.
a camera boost that we were going to do across the entire map.
One point there was a void clip.
yeah,
there
yeah.
there
Never
was a
really
lot
seriously
of-
considered that, but that was an.
We were dreading
Yeah.
this map from the start.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, it's not good.
Yeah, we came up with a lot of ideas, but basically, eventually, we came to the conclusion that you could do a save glitch starting from the top of the elevator, which we'll get to in just a minute.
Wait, I should show that in game
But
in a minute.
that means that you need to start with save glitch on the top of the elevator, and you need to have a camera with you in order to be able to do radio properly.
Fake reload.
So,
Fake
well,
reload.
and actually, if you don't have the camera with you, then you can't do the shitty strat TM. because then
Yeah.
you can't boost up to the second rim on top of the bottom of the
Yeah.
elevator. So there's a lot of really weird constraints and requirements that we had to work around in order to try to make this work.
And then Crafted did all of it, so big shout out to him.
Calamity, can you go in game and show how big that map is as well?
Yes.
Oh yeah, I can just load up the map. I
Um,
can just load up the map. That's
G18.
yeah, I know which map it is. Thanks.
Also,
It says it on screen.
in addition to all that complicated stuff, you also have to be on the right cycle to get the scuttle bump to raise properly, and you have to build speed for 18 hours. It's really complicated.
And then we have to jump to parallel universes.
Yeah.
So where we would normally start in the YouTube maps is out here, but as you can see, there's no line of sight, and
Yeah,
even down here, there's no
Show
line
how
of sight.
thick the walls are.
Oh yeah, the
So, like,
walls.
shoot-
The
shoot
walls are
both
like
sides.
this is
Oh, shoot a portal on the side and just look at it from above. Yeah. It's,
like this is how thick the walls are.
Yeah, it's,
So
it's
what-
really stupid.
So we had to
So,
go all the way. We had to get our safe glitch body all the way out here to shoot a portal under there.
Yeah, it's funny because like I discovered a really extremely precise save glitch shot, and I was like, "Yep, it's possible to do in 3 portals, hypothetically." And then I did the or like somebody did the segment. I think it was me. I don't remember. Like I did the first part of it, and then Calamity was like, "Wait, no, that lands in the wrong spot." And I was like, "Oh wait, this is better. This is much easier now."
So what we actually did was we had this portal we were safe glitched on top of this. And
Yeah,
in
and then-
vanilla portal you can't shoot here, but in this mod you can, which is really nice because when you save it on a portal
Can
and you stand here, when you stand up, you have your head just about behind it, just
Yeah,
an inch
there's
behind
actually
it.
a route video if you want to show this, because like I posted a kind of an in-depth route video to show the save glitch shot for this, but I don't think that's necessary.
it's
Um,
fine.
Yeah, what
Oh,
we end
yeah,
up doing
that's
is we
fine.
shoot a portal that lands all the way on the edge here, which is really precise. And then, oh, it's like down here, so. And then we could
Yeah.
shoot under here.
The thing
and
as well
then-
is that the reason
When I was standing here, I crouched, I tapped crouch, and then I was
Mm.
in front of this portal, and I could shoot.
Yeah, go ahead.
the reason standing and crouching does that is because like the save glitch offsets in terms of your head rather than like your origin of your body. So because it's where your view is or something. Oh, actually, I know why that is. It's because my theory, which I think is probably correct, on why save glitch offsets your portals at all, and also edge glitch, is the fact that you can stand with your head through a ceiling portal and stick it
Like
out.
this.
Exactly. That's kind of the
Like
reason
this.
that save glitch exists in the first place.
Well, that's the reason that part of it exists. It's
Yeah,
kind of
look.
like 2 or
Right.
3 separate glitches. It's weird.
Yeah.
It shouldn't really be called save glitch. It's like save glitches or something. That sounds dumb.
Yeah.
But
Okay,
yeah,
yeah.
the yeah, that's a good demo. So yeah, the standing and crouching lets you move in front and behind it when it's sort of bisecting you.
Yeah. Okay. So this map was a pain in the butt for a very long time, and eventually, I don't know how long it took us, but as Clemmy said, we've probably been routing this since the beginning of the run. This
Yeah.
is something that's been on our minds for a while, and eventually, when we actually got here, then we completely lost our minds, and we were stuck on it for like a week or two.
A week?
Was it a week?
Probably longer than that.
No, I think
God.
17 and 18 together took a month and a bit.
Something
It was
Oh.
like all of
Seven-
February or
Yeah,
something. Yeah.
17 took a long time because I had to redo it a lot, and then 18 actually routing it took a couple of weeks at least.
And then running it took a
Remember
few
you
days.
sending me messages about it, and you're like, "Look at this cool route." I'm like, "Yeah, cool." And then you would send me a new one. It's like, "Look, it's even faster." And you just kept like shaving off like the portals, which is like
Yeah,
half a second every time. Like, that's
Yeah.
pretty good.
Yeah, so let's switch back to the video.
The video, yes.
Play
You
the
can-
video. So let's go back to the beginning of that chamber. I think it's this.
Yeah,
little,
this is good. You can see the
So
Kalami
there's
heat
a-
again. Also, there's something I want to point out here that happens with the camera. It comes through the portal, and then
Yeah.
and then it comes through the portal again.
Yeah. I don't know why it does
Twice.
that, but it
Yeah.
totally does. So
It do be like that
it do be like that sometimes.
sometimes. Yes.
But yeah, so there was a lot of really awkward constraints that we had to work around, and eventually I came up with a route that would enable us to fulfill all of those, which is being on top of the elevator, having 2 portals up there, having save glitch, and having the camera with you.
Yeah. Being
and so-
bisected by the portals at like the exact height.
yeah.
It's so precise.
So
incredible.
the first thing that's going to happen here is we get save glitch, and then we do a few portal shots in order to peek up top of the elevator here. So that way we can then grab the camera, throw it out of bounds because we don't need it. The camera's probably dumb anyway. Do a vertical wall warp, and then we can shoot underneath the camera, which you can't actually see because it's out of bounds.
Yeah.
It goes
I didn't even
into
know
the
that's what you were doing.
orange portal, and then we place another orange portal here, so it falls into blue, which is on the ground, and then as it falls back, it falls
Oh,
back into
I
the
didn't
orange
know
portal.
this.
I
That's
didn't
incredible.
even know this. Yeah,
And
I
then it plays,
zoned
and
out,
then you
like,
place
after
another
that time.
portal right here. Yeah. So
I
this
wasn't
is,
involved in this, so this is all new to me. This is amazing.
I was involved in this. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That,
So there's
that
a
was
lot
my
of
That's
favorite
hilarious.
part, actually.
Out of
there's a
bounds
lot of
prop stuff.
tricky stuff.
And then with the 2
Yeah,
portals
so
on the
you-
ceiling, there's a tiny spot you can stand.
Yeah, and we have save glitch here because of the vertical wall warp that we did. So you jump. Here, let's jump back here.
This next test could take a very
So we get
Oh,
vertical
of
wall warp
course,
here.
long time.
Yeah, there's actually 2 safe lists that happens. One
And
is the
then
wall,
you
the other
shoot
is
the portal
the...
away, and then you can jump inside of the elevator.
Yeah.
And
These
then
walls are really a suggestion.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
the first, the way vertical works against you jump and you save load, it puts you on top. So if you do a second save load, that gives you save glitch. Same thing people do in RTA and chambers 2 and 10. And
Yeah.
Cool.
Cool.
And then here, well, we wanted to do this bit in one segment, but
It's impossible.
We basically, it's impossible. It's completely unrealistic.
I can
Because
take you
this-
through it,
I
frame by
didn't
frame.
try it though.
So the problem is this. Actually, here, Clemmy, I do want to show this PQR here. This PQR is stupid precise. Like,
looks,
I don't know how precise, but it's stupid precise.
It looks maybe tick perfect, potentially.
It could be.
It's not tick perfect, but it's.
There's a
pretty
few.
darn
There's like a
close.
few ticks window, but
Yeah.
it's tiny.
Yeah.
And you have to
doing it
line
on
up your
would
movement
be-
perfectly, and you have to jump for it and everything.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
this is actually, I think, the only a sequence of portal shots that we ended up like breaking up into multiple parts.
Yes.
Because we just decided that it was not worth it.
Even
Right,
at first, the first shot of that sequence is
Yeah.
so precise. And if you look at it, look, I flicked to it, and if I was off by maybe 0.1
It's
of a
like-
degree, it wouldn't have worked.
Yeah, it's like a tenth of a degree off, and
So-
that's already bad.
I guess you just pretty much did this segment at random until it worked.
Yeah, I just
yeah.
well, I had a like a little spot on the wall that I used
Right.
as a reference, but I was just flicking and hoping that
Yeah.
it worked. Then I had to do another flick. If I quickly go back again,
Feel free to pass out.
as we did a flick to a second portal shot that was maybe just as precise, and it's down there, and I had to go back.
Yeah.
And yeah,
And then I did the PQR. Oh, okay, this is interesting. Hang on. Let's
Oh,
go.
no.
Let's start here.
Oh, no. So much stuff.
there's so much
So much
happening.
stuff.
Yeah,
There's a lot happening here, and this happens again later on, so we'll kind of brush over it next time. So let's see. This happens. I'm gonna pause right after the PQR. So we get PQR. Very cool. So now let's think about where our portals are. So we have a portal
Oh, no.
on the wall. We have a portal on the top of the elevator, and we want to get Karen the camera, because a big reason about why we did this specific route as well is because we wanted to continue with the shitty strat TM, and
Yes.
so we need Karen the camera for that. So what happens here is you go into the orange portal, and
I
that
can frame
allows you
advance if
to
you want.
appear, and then you can PBR, which is all nice and well. Here, what's interesting is that both you have the portal above you, and it's out of bounds, and you're holding the camera. Now you can jump through here, and you will end up on the other side of the portal, but the camera's not going to come with you, except it does sometimes. That's
yeah. And in this case, it just kind of did.
Yeah, that's so dumb.
What? So,
Yeah, you can see it just comes through the portal right there. It just falls
so
through.
I guess
from
you're
out of bounds.
drawing the camera in some way, but it's just like random.
Nobody-
So I'm just
nobody
jumping
knows.
through I'm just jumping, and if you crouch at the right time, and if your portal's in the right orientation, it's 100% consistent, but it's
Oh.
stupidly precise to set it up.
Right.
I
So let's
gotta
just see
say,
that
like, it might
quickly.
stem from the fact that, like, when you walk through a portal with an object, it does try to snap it towards you, though.
Yeah.
So I'm not sure if that's like involved anyhow, but it is very weird.
Yeah, but like if you just do it regularly, it's not going to come with you at all. So
Fortunately, the next 2 maps are going to be a bit more sane. Back to our formula.
yeah.
Master shit strat TM.
Yeah, so that was a
These-
vertical.
So
well,
these last 2 maps took
well,
us maybe a month or so, a month and a half to do, and then now we're back to
Yeah.
the maps that we can do in a day.
Yeah.
Yep. Here's
Also-
some guest segments.
Yeah, we have Proto here. When is Bill? Is Bill in this map as well?
Do you know later on?
We can find out.
We'll find out in a sec.
Let me just.
Oh yeah, oh yeah, there he is. He is in this map.
Oh, cool.
Oh, okay.
There
Where
he
is
is.
Bill?
Cheers,
Bill. Shout out to Bill.
Yeah,
Yes.
Bill,
Okay.
Bill,
2 or
Bill.
3 segments.
Bill, Left 4 Dead 2.
The science guy.
Yeah, Left 4 Dead 2
Science
guy and
rules.
one of the
Yeah,
few
hasn't-
people
well,
who enjoys that.
Occasionally, recently, but
But yeah, we're doing a formula in this map, and then
not a lot.
actually, no,
You
we're
can
not.
barely tell that you're doing rubby and stuff there. Like,
Yeah,
Yeah, we're
so
getting really
much
good at it.
compared
Oh,
to the
I-
beginning of the run.
And Crafter was getting really good at it because I never did it.
Yeah.
So here we do another special thing. First of all, there's another Mighty Sea tribute right there,
Oh,
Oh.
this is the map. Oh boy.
Another one.
and here we get the second Calamity.
Very subtle.
I'm just
Is
gonna
it
play this.
Calamity?
Yes.
Really? Oh, it
Oh,
is.
yeah. Yeah.
Oh wow.
And
Oh,
then
that's
we
how you do that, and that's that map. Yeah.
yes, and then
That's that map.
Oh,
We just-
and
we
fun
just-
fact about this
wait,
next
wait, wait,
map.
go back a bit and look
Yeah.
at the map counter while that happens.
yeah, look at the map counter in the bottom right. It's 19, there goes 20, and now it's 22.
22, yeah.
Yep.
Twen-
Fun fact about map 22, right?
21 is
Depending-
21 was cut from
Oh,
the
21 was
game.
cut, yeah. Of
I
course.
went out drinking or something,
Um,
so.
Yeah.
Yeah. So this is actually kind of interesting. I think Mike, you suggested this strat originally.
Kinda. I suggested like the out of bounds 22 to 23, but I think this particular launch was. I can't remember whose idea it was. It might have been.
The launch I
assumed
got
that You
here.
wouldn't be able to launch that far, but then
The launch I
think
got
we-
here
I
wasn't
think
the
we
plan.
tried to- I think we tried to ABH, and then somebody suggested doing the camera launch. And
No,
then
I already
my
knew.
first idea.
I already knew ABH wasn't possible because it was too far.
Yeah.
And
my-
also
my
the
first
launch I
idea
got here,
was-
the launch I got here was an accident. That wasn't the plan.
Oh. Oh right.
I was
Yeah, my-
planning to use the Calamity to go up a lot further and then
right.
fall down from a higher arc. But what actually ended up happening is that I got launched downwards and got an ABH hop off of this surface here, off of the elevator step, and that gave us a bunch of speed.
Oh, that's what happened. I see.
Yes,
Right. You can barely see that.
you can barely see it, but
yeah.
here is the end of the next map already, so we can just launch to it.
Mhm.
It-
so
it
that's
doesn't
how
have
the
an
trigger
elevator.
is.
It doesn't have an elevator,
Yeah.
so we hit the trigger from out of bounds and fly past it. So we
Yeah,
keep our portal gun,
Nice.
and there's the next elevator, the next map, so we can just shoot there directly. Now
Yeah, but
it has the
before we do-
unfortunate. Yeah, go ahead.
Here, Mike, you carry on.
Yes, thanks. So, and a couple of thoughts. First of all, yeah, the first idea I had for the last map was nowhere near as good. It was like shoot to some in between point, get like a falling save glitch, and then like jump off a fan. It was bad. But also, fun fact about this map: if you are positioned slightly wrong, out of bounds, when you hit the trigger, the way it works, you can hit the trigger and you continue on with some speed. So you're sort of stuck in the wall a bit. And if you're ever so slightly wrong positioned and you shoot portals, you will just die because you just get.
That's
crushed by
actually in the save as well. What we did here, you could die with the save as well.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I initially I was like, you might have to shoot an extra portal to get unstuck or something. But we got really lucky, I guess, and this just worked out perfectly. So
Yeah. The thick walls again here, so we needed to get just enough speed so that we still hit the trigger, and then through the map transition, we basically clip past it to out of bounds where we can actually shoot portals again. It's really precise. It's stupidly precise. Calamity got lucky. The run carries on. Thanks, Calamity. Very
Also,
cool.
this had the
Very cool.
unfortunate consequence that we lost Karen the camera.
Yeah.
Oh no! It's so sad.
So now we have to go get a new camera.
We have
And
to get a new camera. Yeah.
up here in the top
this-
left of the screen, where my cursor is right now, you can see there's a camera. You can see it, and we're gonna go get that one in a second.
And it's surprising that we can actually get it in 14 seconds and still do the shitty strat. So let's actually back up just a second there, right after this
Certain
happens.
objects may-
Yep, okay. So, PQR under the elevator, very cool. Then peek right up there, and then do a vertical wall warp, and now we can pick up
Certain
Karen to the
objects
camera.
may be vital
And now we
to
can
your
carry
And
safety.
then, there was an unfortunate thing you did is that you rubbied very close to the portal, so I couldn't move until I had the camera redirected.
Oh, that's why you did that thing.
Yeah, that's that happened a lot where I was
So
like, I
it's-
would just get rubby with some really weird orientation because I got really good at it, and I would just be like, all right, there you go.
There you go.
And now
Carry
it
on.
was so hard to reorient the camera there. If I just back up slightly,
Sorry
I had to
about
like
that.
I had to flick it up,
May be
and then I had to
vital
shoot the portal away so I could actually move without canceling save glitch.
to your success. Do not
Silly.
Had that reorientation been any slower, we wouldn't have made it to the end of the map in time.
testing apparatus.
You can see me scrabbling to get up there, and we get like a quarter of a second leeway.
Just
Yeah.
It's just in
Carry
time.
on.
If that had gone wrong, we would have had to probably go back like 20 seconds or like redo like a
Yeah,
good chunk of that map.
something
Yeah,
like
or
that.
do the shitty strat, the original shitty strat.
Ooh, that was another Clemmy right there.
No, that was. Oh yeah, that was the third one. If we could just go back.
Oh, yeah.
I actually
The
did
camera's
this.
gonna go through the portal again, just to let you know.
I actually did this on stream, and it's highlighted on my channel. If you want to see that.
Oh yeah, that's right, it is.
Yeah,
This
and
is like a slow camera launch too, and it needs to be slow,
You
otherwise you're
see
not
the
gonna be able to get
camera
it on
like
camera.
falling towards the portal. That's so cool. The angle is.
Yeah.
It
And
just
then-
comes in like.
and then we do another camera fly. That was another C, by the way. Tribute to Maddie C.
Oh yeah. Your sneaking was in
It's so
everywhere.
hard to spot, dude.
Yeah.
And the camera just comes through.
Ooh, let's back that up. So there's another
Camera launch.
Camera launch, and now we do the exact. Oh wait, hang on. Camera launch. Camera goes through the portal.
Also,
And
also,
then-
I didn't cancel save glitch, so now we don't have to get new
Yes.
save glitch.
Oh wow, yeah. So that's a precise shot to not hit be
Yeah.
in front of the portal.
It was on cap
And the same
actually.
exact thing happens here. So I'll just go over this one more time, briefly. So we shoot a few portals in order to peek to be able to vertical wall warp, throw the camera out of bounds, vertical wall warp, shoot a portal under the camera, shoot it under the roofs, and shoot both portals there. Now you have the camera and woo! All right, cool.
Okay, if you look really closely,
Very
you will
exciting.
see my name pop up in the bottom left for half a
speed read
second.
the explanation.
Yeah, if you look in the bottom left, you'll see my name pop up for half a second and disappear again.
Yeah,
Oh,
I
yeah.
saw that.
Oh, wait, what the hell?
Yes, so all I did there was to do the jump backwards,
Mhm.
and then Uncrafted took over again.
Yeah, there's a
Damn.
few unoptimal segments.
And
this
this
one
is
could be a bit faster, but
This is the one that's like the most obvious where we lost like half a second
Yeah.
or so. And it's only half a
it's like
second.
half a second at most. Yeah. I think I only did that a couple times during the run because I was just like, whatever, I just want to move on.
But there's some interesting things
Um,
happening here as well.
Yeah. So here we don't have a straight line of sight to the under elevator again, but we can't do a camera launch because it's stupidly far. There's a lot of suggestions like
I can really go game and
aviation
show it.
over the top of this over this out of bounds surface here, or like swimming through the goo. But eventually, I just somebody suggested falling save glitch, and that's what we ended up doing here.
No, it's not. It's not falling safe glitch actually. What we do here is it's shooting away the portal safe glitch, isn't it?
No. That is falling save glitch. Shooting away the portal is
is.
just like a peak. It's just
Yeah,
the portal's
yeah.
gone after the save glitch.
Exactly.
Oh, yeah,
exactly.
okay,
And
okay, okay,
Actually, a really convenient thing here is that the elevator's facing away from us here. That's why we can shoot on this side of it, because you can only shoot on the back side
Oh,
of it.
I'm so lucky.
We're so lucky
Oh,
here. Yeah.
also, we should explain falling save glitch, I guess. The
Yeah,
game,
go ahead,
when
Mike.
you're out of bounds, there's a thing called clipping, which is where you save and load and you go down slightly. And that, in combination with your falling speed already, moves you far enough away from the portal if you time it just right, that you can just get save glitch. And then you fall down through the map.
Yep. so
That's
right
also
here-
used in Under Elevator 2 Electric Boogaloo and regular portal.
That is
that was
true,
the
yeah,
thing
it
that
is.
started off as like me saying, "Hey, you can do this," and then everyone was like, "Whoa, what?" Because most people hadn't even heard of this trick. It's
And
quite
also some
obscure.
people saying, "Oh my God, Mike, why do you do this?"
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. I think someone called
Uh,
it cursed. That was a word that someone used.
But yeah, so right here we get save glitch, and then we fall underneath the elevator and we trigger it. And there was a few other weird requirements here. I believe that we want it to be on top of.
Yeah, we need
Oh,
to
okay,
start
we
on
can
top.
We can just play through this and then we'll jump back to it in
Yeah.
just a second.
So you got Robbie on the top of the elevator there, instead.
Yes, with the portal above me.
You put the camera out of bounds there.
I
Oh,
left
you
it out.
totally did. Yeah.
Because we need to start on top here because that's
Yeah,
the
we need
only way to
start
get a
on
line of
top
sight.
because
So
that's the
this is like
that's
Chamber
the only
9.
way you have a direct line of sight to the next under elevator. Luckily, this segment is really easy, but
Yeah, that was literally
Well,
free.
can you briefly mention that like items out of bounds is really weird as well? You still need to have the item sort of in bounds for it to transition. To
Oh yeah,
the
I'm gonna show this frame by
Oh,
frame.
yeah, we'll get to that
Yeah.
in just a second.
I'll show that frame by frame.
Alright, here we go. So I get Ruby, and then I do a few weird save glitch shots. It really doesn't matter how, but the point is that I think I end up, the portal ends up being on top of the next elevator.
Yeah, I have no idea where these shots are going.
Really random spots. And then now I have a portal on top of the elevator. I can pick up the camera, I can bring it with me, I can leave it out here, because the reason for this is because we want to preserve the Karen yet again.
Karen
so I
2.0
can
by
use
the
her
way.
somewhere. Anyway,
Karen 2.0, yes.
and so the only way to do that is if you have is if the camera is inbounds. And so we need to somehow be able to have access to the inside of this elevator shaft that we're standing on here.
Yes.
So and we also need to be able to fall through a portal so that we keep our portal gun. So the only way to do that is if you have a portal inside of the elevator and outside at the same time. So that's what I do here. I do a PBR and then I peek
Yeah, if
in
we
such a way.
pause it here, you can see there's the orange portal is on top, and then the blue portal is inbounds on the same on
Exactly.
the other side of the same
So
surface.
you're just basically cutting a hole in the ceiling.
Yep.
Yes, basically.
Also, by the way, I think the reason, as far as I understand it, the reason why things have to be in bounds like that is there's a thing called the trigger underscore transition, which is the area that all the stuff has to be in to be moved
Yeah.
from one map to the next.
Yeah,
Because obviously you don't want to transition everything, otherwise like those turrets there would end up in the next map and it would make no sense. So you
So
have to
I-
have things in that zone.
I have to time falling into the portal perfectly, and also I have to hold the camera in precisely the correct spot that it actually transitions to the next level.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
And we also get the fake reload, and you see the camera is inbounds right there
Yeah.
on top of the elevator. And this segment is literally free. There's no effort
it's
needed.
Actually, literally.
Oh.
And here we do
if
the
you could
exact
have
same
boosted
thing.
that.
Here we do the exact same thing because we have a portal on top of the elevator, and we also need the camera. So we just PBR back in, we pick it up, and then we just do the weird thing where we jump through and it comes. with
Where I
us.
still have no idea how it works. Also,
I
Sunset Bear is a
also
guest
have no
segment.
clue how
Oh, hello, Sunset Bear.
it
Shout out
works.
Sunset-
to Sunset Bear for making us do the run in the first place. Or
Yay!
Yay! That was a really good segment.
We also figured
Also,
out how to jump onto that rim that
there's
none
Lambo.
of us knew about.
there's Lambo's
Hey,
segment.
Lambo sound good.
Lambo also has one
Wait,
segment.
did you
Tons
just
of guest
jump
segments.
up onto it?
Well, you can if you align the camera the right way. So here, let's take a look at what he does here.
Yeah, I don't know how he did that, Sunset.
Like this here.
oh, it's like a little
Oh,
mini
okay.
camera boost.
Right. Yeah, sure.
Fun.
Lambo gets his
And the
cameo.
shenanigans going on here.
Same route.
And we're coming up to the end of Under Elevator. This is GE28.
Yeah, I actually
Oh,
changed
wow,
the
yeah.
ambient music in the run on the last map, so you can actually hear when the last map is happening, like
Oh,
before
that's
the.
fun.
This is like one of the few times I actually did one of the portal shot transitions.
Yeah, I think you did it once or twice.
Yeah.
Yeah. Alright.
Oh, this is the last map with Under Ellie, and I struggled really to get this camera to behave. Like, it was
The
sick.
backflip.
It was sick of our shit. Like, usually what I would usually do is I would shoot the portal into that pit next to the other portal before boosting up, but I just could not do that. I just couldn't get the camera launch after that, and even the camera launch I did get, it is just enough height to get up there. And I have to like awkwardly drop the camera, shoot the portal, and then grab it again, and then the map changes.
Yeah, it's funny because I really hated when you did that because I thought it would waste a lot of time, but it turns out that we have a lot of time to spare, especially once we got really good at it. It really just doesn't matter anymore.
Yeah.
Okay. This is where the escapes start. Very cool. So
Yay.
there's no more elevators, and the only way to get into the next trigger quickly is to vertical wall warp into it. Very cool.
Oh, of
So
course.
this is not. Well, I'm gonna go from my frame back. I shoot a portal there. That's where the trigger is. So I shoot like on the outside of it, kind of
I
next
think
to
you
it.
shoot above it.
Oh, this segment. This was the one point where I came back to do more. Oh no, one of 2 points where I came back to do more segments, but
Yeah.
Calamity got it anyway. The other one later on is where I didn't want to use the overlay, and Calamity got it with the overlay, and then I decided, you know what, I actually can't be bothered, so then I just
Yeah.
left it at that.
Yeah, I
But
think
it's-
this is the time when I had to start working, so I couldn't work on segments anymore.
You can see the end of the map is right there,
Yeah.
where the rim of that elevator is. But we're on the outside of it, kind of to the side. But
Oh. Yeah, this is
Yeah.
actually a horizontal wall warp, not a vertical wall warp.
this is some
It's
kind of
weird.
horizontal
is
wall
it?
warp.
It's like you
I mean-
you crouch walk and save load, and only then will it put you in bounds. It's really weird.
Oh wow!
Oh.
I didn't know about that.
I mean,
Yeah,
it does go downward slightly. So what I think
It
is
goes
happening is
downward
it's
slightly.
like a vertical wall warp, but it tries to find the nearest inbound space.
Yeah, but it only works when
Huh.
you're moving. It doesn't work when you're-
Right, because I only figured out a way to do this with a peak. I see why you don't do that now. Okay, interesting.
It's really weird.
And then you can see Mike's name pops up there for a fraction of a second
Oh,
if you look
that's-
closely.
Oh, because I like jumped through into the trigger. I actually I forgot about that.
Yeah, it just quickly
I
pops up.
forgot I did that. That's great.
Because-
thought
no,
they had the
'cause
shortest
Oh,
segment.
they're like-
No, well, the shortest segments are 0 and 1 ticks.
Well, yeah, I have the
I'm
shortest
good
segments.
Oh,
I'm good at,
yeah,
like,
other than that,
the 0 tick segments. Yeah.
But yeah, I did this, and then
segments by Mike.
Technically 1 tick segments. But
I did this, and then Mike said, "No, you're being slow," and then he redid it, and then I redid what he did, but I kept one of his segments. because it
Shout
was-
out
it was-
to this door. Like this door protects us from the blinding light that is the white walls outside.
Oh yeah, this map is very well color balanced.
Oh yeah, this is very
Ah!
bright.
My face, my eyes.
So I get a safe glitch here, and then I
I
get some.
tried to color correct this, but I
It's
turned
impossible,
up
yeah.
I turned down the brightness and turned up the contrast, and it was just all gray.
Uh.
So it literally just caps it all out.
There's probably some gamma curve things.
Ha-
I don't
gamma,
even know, I think it's
haha.
just beyond repair. Oh yeah, gamma. Ha. This map has too much gamma, not enough gamma, whichever one. It is.
That's too much
I really
energy.
tried
Too
to.
much. Too much.
Too much energy.
I'm having gamma energy beamed directly into my eyes.
Anyway, we do some.
yeah.
Oh, sure, that was
photo
the
shots.
overlay, maybe.
Yeah, let's.
I
Do
feel
we
like
want to
it.
show this with the overlay?
You could
Actually,
do.
Actually, yeah, I'm gonna show this with the overlay.
Show what it looked like when you were actually attempting it.
we're about to pick up another prop. Unfortunately, it's not a camera. It's Charlie the chair.
Charlie, I didn't know it was Charlie.
I just
Those-
came up with that.
That's a good idea. Yeah, I like that. Let's stick with
Actually, I don't know which segment this
let's
is.
see, 214.
Charlie.
240. Oh yeah, there's Mike's segment. I can see.
Oh yeah. So my one like late game segment before I gave up completely for good. Because I like.
I have a lot.
what was
Is
I don't
is
think
it the 198? Is it 198?
it's 214, 198. Yeah.
Calamity in the following, which is.
So play it back really
That-
slowly.
yeah.
'cause
It needs to load
Away
first, bro. It's taking a long time to load because the map's quite big.
Oh yeah.
Oh.
So alternate
Very
title for
nice.
this run was generic, which is
Oh.
gamma energy. Now
Yeah.
everything really is camera. So
That is technically
That's
still
so
the
dumb.
title. We just didn't put it anywhere.
I disagree with that title. It's too silly.
do you
good,
agree with
though.
the thumbnail that I made for this
The
video?
thumbnail is nice. Yeah.
So I need to change overlay
At
portals
least I
actually to
remember.
orange.
it's just a bunch of cameras in a room, dude.
Yeah.
It's all the ex Karens that got rejected from the run.
Only one Karen is the true Karen.
Okay, there's some. Oh yeah, I'm in drive. Oops.
Oopsie poopsie.
Okay, so back to Calamity.
Yes. So if we go nice and slowly, I turn around, careful not to cancel my safe glitch. There's a portal shot that goes all the way back there, you can't really see it here. I'm gonna show it in game in a second.
Surprisingly precise. Like
It's surprisingly
yeah.
precise, actually, yeah. And it lands. Oh dear, I can't show it
I think
in the overlay.
I originally routed some of these, and then you guys iterated upon these a bit.
Mm. Annoyingly as well, I was doing this without the overlay because it's cheating, and I got really close twice or 3 times. I had the shots perfect, and then I missed. I didn't grab the chair properly. So
Yes.
someone
So
is yelling at me. I'll do one moment.
So the change level trigger is there where this door frame is and where this door is. But there's a room behind that with non-textured walls.
Yeah.
That's where the next map will load in, and I shoot a portal in there. Well, first
Yeah, so I think
Yeah,
I
it's
was
right
the one who
here.
figured out how to shoot a portal inside of there, but I didn't think it was useful. But you guys figured that out somehow.
because you can see the rainbow walls there.
Huge brains.
Huge brains.
And then I
massive.
jump forward into the office, and there is a chair. And I shoot a portal under the chair.
Yeah, Charlie the chair.
Charlie the chair, yes, and then
If you actually frame advance, you can see it like transition with you for like 1 or 2 frames.
Yeah.
I need to.
By the way, someone has made someone has bought or profiteroles. So I'll be right back.
Oh, profiteroles. There's the chair.
Yeah. Very good.
This is where the demo ends. So I'm gonna quickly load the map actually. The command is map. GXOO.
Is it? Oh, it's OO, yeah.
So this is where the our first portal shot goes here, right, and then we shoot here. And that puts us here, and the portal goes up there. And that also went through to several iterations actually.
Yeah, for sure. We iterated upon this quite a bit. Shoutouts to the demi-thick walls again.
Yes. So there's a bit of room to walk around, but actually what happens here is because we went through the portal we lost safe glitch, but when I open this door and walk in, it loads the next map, and we get a different way of getting safe glitch. That is the
That's true. Oh, that's right. This is load glitch, right?
load glitch,
Oh
yes.
god, that's how you got. Oh, that's how you preserved save glitch. I see.
Yes, I just got load glitch.
Oh no, I think I.
That's why we iterated several times on which color this portal should be.
That's right. That's right. I think That's right. I remember now. I tried to. I was like, yeah, we should do save glitch because that'll allow us to do load glitch, which will allow us to preserve save glitch, which is probably much faster in the end. So I was probably the one who pushed that. Yeah, okay. So play that through. Frame advance like this, just this like one bit with the chair, as you can see it like against the no draw, very briefly.
So there's the chair. We shoot the portal under it. Go through. There's a lot of no draw, which kind of breaks when you play back demos, so you can't really see what's going on. But I flick back. You can see the camera falling up there, and then there the next map loads.
Ooh, chair. Hello.
Yes, and immediately what's gonna happen? I'm gonna toss the chair and shoot 2 portals. And there, I grab the chair again to segment, because usually when you load a save, you need to wait 1 second for you to shoot a portal. But if you have a prop, you get a fake reload, and you need to wait half a second, which is the normal cooldown of the portal gun anyway. So it only lost a few ticks.
Picked up a chair there. That's interesting.
Yeah, it saved a few ticks. Well, it loses a few ticks if you do that, but it makes it so much easier.
Yeah. Yeah.
Originally, we were gonna do
the only one working on this.
Oh yeah.
So shout outs to you for finishing up the escapes.
Because I also routed this map completely. Originally, we were gonna do a safe glitch launch, but it ended up being a bit too far away, and shooting a portal was quicker.
Yeah, I'm really surprised that ended up being slower.
It was actually close, but yeah.
Still on this map.
Welcome back.
I haven't missed the ending. That's good.
No. I'm gonna get your moment, Mike.
Where we give you credit.
Oh, the ending. Oh, I've got a video where I first discovered the ending thing as well.
I
it's
actually
kind of
wanted
like
to show
Game of the
how
Year.
Sunset
thing.
introduced his strat for the first map.
Oh yeah,
I
we're
just think
gonna,
that's really funny for some
we're gonna do
reason.
that after the
Yeah, we'll do that.
escapes.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I do a bit of safe glitchery here, going back and forth. Should I show this with the overlay? I think I should.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Because I
This
actually
is-
have no clue what shots you shoot here.
Oh dear. It is...
Oh dear me.
Oh dear me. Is it 218, I believe it is. Is it? Yeah, I think so. If it will load. No, that's the wrong segment. It's 217. Yes, that's the segment. And what am I even safe glitched on? I'm safe glitched on orange, yes. I had to crouch there in order to, not cancel safe glitch.
Oh yeah, sure.
So, let me get out of drive.
Okay, share, timestamp, copy. Alright, I'm gonna DM you this for when we get to the last map. Just the
No. Yeah. So what happens there is I
I'll
walk.
DM you some stuff that I think is worth showing as well.
Yeah. So what happened there is I walk backwards to get behind the safe glitch portal, and then I can shoot out of bounds on this bit of scenery. Then I flick my mouse all the way up there. And up there, that's where the change level trigger is. It's in that room. So I shoot next to that. And I have to walk forward again and shoot my safe glitch portal on that wall there. To get a better position. And then... I don't even know if you can see this. Oh yeah, there it is. I shoot on that wall, and that's when I go through that portal that I placed there, then that immediately changes the level. So I shoot there, and then shoot portal on the floor. This could have been 3/10 quicker because I landed instead of falling straight through.
But it's pretty good still. Actually, if you land, it's okay because you can just uncrouch and go through almost instantly, right?
Yeah, that's what I did.
Yeah.
And I did this one on stream as well, and it's also highlighted, and it's a cool thing because I say, oh, I should focus on the game actually, and then I just get it. Alright, let's go back to the video.
Welcome back. Next.
I mean, I've been listening to everything.
Oh,
No.
I don't have much to say about the ending.
Okay, Mike,
It's just
Mike, this
really
is-
great.
Mike, this is all yours.
We have one thing to
Yes.
mention about the last map.
So, yeah, Mike, this is all yours.
Yes.
yeah. So it turns out as well, someone had had this happen by accident and no one could explain it. So I posted this and they were like, "Oh," and basically, if I'll just that link I sent you, I'll just put it in sync play and you can all see it. 1 sec.
I can kill the boss fight in game if you want.
Oh, there we go. I'll just. This
Is
is
it boss
um.
fight
oh, I
XD?
didn't-
Yeah, I did.
Doesn't look
Oh,
like
there we
it
go,
when you
okay.
watch the run.
So basically, I discovered that if you save and load while these orbs, well, first of all, the way the boss fight is supposed to work.
Yeah, it would be better if you go into the
Yeah,
map
just show the
early.
boss fight.
Yeah, just go on the map and yeah. Got the video here for.
Should I go in game? I can go in game.
Yeah, sure. The gist of the boss fight is basically there's these orbs going around and you're supposed to like somehow direct them and away from like the circuit thing so that they fizzle away, I guess. And that
Yeah,
makes
you
the
have
boss
to
die.
break these things and then the
Yeah,
orbs
I
get
never
destroyed.
even really understood the intended way of doing it. It's very.
There's like a
explosive
there's a turret somewhere that shoots at you.
turret somewhere. Oh yeah. So you get it to shoot at the pipe things or whatever. And
That looks so.
Oh wait, it's up there.
another funny thing. Oh yeah. Another funny thing is you can break those pipes just by like jumping on them,
Oh yeah.
which is awesome. But then I realized at some point, like, if you save and load at the right point in time, you can get these, you can get the things like stuck in the sort of metal tube things, and then they just despawn. And then Calamity also realized you can save and load when they're going through the coil things, and it deletes them immediately because they get kind of replaced. Like one orb becomes another orb, and if you save and load, it kind of bugs out and just deletes it. So
I'm dropping a lot of
that
frames.
breaks the boss completely. So if you show the video, or switch to the video now,
Oh yeah.
I can play it.
Yeah, go ahead.
And yeah, this is Gamma Energy Game of the Year Edition is the title. Of the video. As I discovered this
Good title,
I can't
good
remember
title.
what it is, completely by accident. And yeah, it's just saving loading there and saving loading there, and these things just sit. And
Eventually they just pop, and then you win.
I can't believe that. That's
so
bad.
and then what's great about it is normally you normally leave and go like back along that corridor, and into like where the door is on the right into the big room, like standing in
Yeah,
front
right
of that
here.
would end the game.
This
So
is
it turns out
radius.
if we get to be standing there immediately, like already there, then the boss fight is like on a timer. It can't be any faster. So it's completely optimal. So that's cool.
Yeah.
And so all we do is we have the segments setting that up, and then at certain points midway we save and load, and that causes the boss to just break.
Yep.
And that's that.
Yep.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
So we go back to
before we
the other
play
video.
credits. Let's play Sunset.
Go back to
Sunset's
the-
introduction to.
Oh yeah.
We should play the we should play the
Oh,
last
I
map
guess
from like how it looks in
I
the
don't
run.
think I've seen this.
Oh, perfect. Just play it in through Discord. It's fine. Don't need to put it on SyncPlay.
Yeah, you don't really need to. I accidentally closed mine. Let's go back.
Oh, did you send it?
I did send it to you. Well, or maybe I should play it through SyncPlay.
No, I've got it.
Yeah, I mean, it's easy enough.
No wait, that's the wrong video. Hang on.
Mike, I could send these to you if you want to play them through SyncPlay.
You can just add it if you just right click on the playlist thing and do add
Okay.
URL to the bottom, and then just paste
Oh
it,
yeah, the best route in the world. I've got it here.
and then you just like double click it.
Okay. These two. Womp. Okay. Cool. Let's play this one first. I don't know which one that is.
I just clicked on one as well. I'm not sure.
That's the wrong one. Oh, there we go.
Oh, all right.
Yeah. Okay. Here we go. Sound.
Oh god, the music is so loud.
This was Sunset saying, "Hey, do a run of this map. Thanks." I don't.
Oh my god.
What?
It's not the right video in my sync play.
Right.
And then
It's like a dumb route.
wait, hey, hang on, Calamity. I'm
Yeah,
playing through SyncPlay.
I only see the energy orb save loading.
Yeah,
Oh, wait.
same.
Yeah.
So
Oh,
Yeah, Calamity, turn on SyncPlay.
m.youtube is not trusted, but it's fine.
I can just play it from my Discord.
Can you not see it through SyncPlay? I'm so confused.
I can't see it in
Yes.
sync play. No.
It can't works for me.
Oh, that's interesting. Okay.
yeah, it wasn't working
Hold
for
on.
me.
Well, I just play it from the
Hey,
Discord then.
play the top one first. The top one first.
Yeah. So
Okay.
there you go. Play the video. Play the video.
What is happening?
Oh my god.
It's very cool.
Very epic music.
What is this phone clip?
It's just anchor.
I mean, that sums up this run perfectly. Only people
Yeah,
can see my
exactly, yeah.
recommendations. Oh
Yeah.
no!
Motivation.
It's more like the game is.
Yeah.
Well, the game isn't really garbage. The boss fight's garbage, and we did
Okay,
kill it.
and then play the
The
second one.
the best route in the world.
The.
Oh yeah, this is the map one route. Yeah. Whee!
It's so insane.
It is hilarious.
However, keep in mind that although fun and learning of the primary
So convenient as well the way that map lines up. Tell me
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
You got this massive long corridor to ABH down, and then you've got this chair that you can launch off of, and then you've got the gun right by the elevator. It's just so convenient.
All right, very cool. Shall we play the credits?
Yeah. Also the last map.
Oh yeah, we haven't actually seen the last
So
map.
triumph.
This is true. Yeah.
This one?
So I can point out where the safe loads are to kill the orbs.
Hold on,
Yeah.
hold on.
Another thing is that like we actually stirred around in the last map just waiting for for stuff to happen for no reason at all. So like waiting to do the save loads. So I actually edited out a big part of those like parts where we just stand there for absolutely no reason. Because it just looks really dumb. It's like, oh, we're going so fast, and then you just stand there for like a solid 5 seconds not doing anything. It doesn't make any
Yeah.
sense.
Oh wait, really?
Yeah.
I just sort of processed that right. So this map is longer in real time than in the video.
Yes.
Correct.
Right. I thought the standing there was kind of funny though, because it's like,
Welcome to the
you
We
know,
get to
I
see
don't
all
know,
of his games,
What's
okay.
going on here?
I
It would have
played
been
it.
confusing, I reckon. So
I think it would have been okay if you just kind of stand there and like look around, but like in that segment, you just standing there looking straight. Absolutely nothing is happening. So I just
You've
edited
been
it out.
wrong
That's
about
always
every
pretty
single
bad.
thing you've ever done,
Yeah.
including this thing.
Wait,
Oh, that's it.
which segment?
That's the boss fight.
So the whole last map, you cut out a
Yeah.
bunch of waiting. I didn't
Yeah.
even. I just assumed that the timing was that short, but
You've been wrong
Yeah,
about
there
every
was the first
Double
segment. You can
form.
see the portal gun kind of does the animation again.
Yeah.
And then I do the second save load together with the wall warp to get up into the corridor.
ever done, including
And then this last thing, this is also very cool. This is electrical field that will kill you, and it turns off when the boss is defeated. But it turns out that well, if you press E on the doors, it finishes the game. When the boss is dead, you can press E on the doors to end the game immediately.
oh,
But
so
the
it's
ele-
faster than being in the trigger.
Yeah, it's faster than just
If
standing
you
there.
skip the voice line that normally plays, it's like "I hate you" or whatever.
You know, you can just
I
take
just
that.
thought
But
that was for like fun.
But the electrical field doesn't turn off immediately when the boss dies. So you can see actually when I go through this, I press E on the doors and then I die,
You die. And that's faster.
and that's faster. It's
Yeah,
faster
that's
to die
really
there.
Cool.
But then the credits aren't red because it map commands instead of change leveling, so you're technically alive again for the credits.
No, actually you're not alive because look,
Bring
Shell's
something.
body is there on the floor.
Yeah, Shell's body's right here, so.
He's dead.
Ooh.
You know, I
This
never
is a
actually
glitch,
noticed that.
technically.
Oh, but is that not normally the case? Yeah,
Yeah, it is. It is.
yeah.
She's supposed to be dead.
So it's supposed to be dead, even though in the normal game, she doesn't like in the normal ending you wouldn't be dead. So
Yeah, but in our ending you are. So we actually our run makes more sense.
our run makes more sense than the intended game. Confirmed.
We sacrificed ourselves.
We fixed the
In memory of Maddie.
Yeah, we single-handedly fixed the canon of Portal.
So what happened? The camera sends Cheryl into the Karen, the camera, sorry, sends Cheryl into the electrical field. She gets electrocuted and then she's dead. That's... There we go. Overlay is cheating.
Don't you just hate it? Don't you just hate it when
Well,
your cabbage melts?
Oob isn't really a glitch, technically.
Yeah, that was Bill. Yeah.
That's how 2010 Brazil grows
All the
1/3 of the world's
oranges. Did
oranges.
you know that? I didn't know that.
Also, what was the I can't remember. There's some other funny thing, but it's gone.
Dun dun dun.
It's cool, aha.
Cool. Aha.
Cool.
Somebody
Which is-
like I kept on giving myself more quotes, and so Bill was like, "Why are you giving yourself so many quotes?"
Yeah. So it's like I could give myself as many quotes as I like. Arguably, yeah.
Yeah, there it is.
Arguably, too many quotes, but you know, yeah. As you say.
I don't know. This outro is so dumb. It took me an unreasonable amount of time. It took me like 2 or 3 days to figure out how to render this outro because the text kept messing up. It's
Oh,
done in
God.
a really stupid way where like you can only give it lines, but then those different lines are
It is
like,
Gonzo.
put on different parts of the screen. It's so weird, and they show up at different times for different. It's awful. It's absolutely
That
awful.
sounds bad. Yeah.
But I
Yeah,
figured it
Sunset
out.
Bear had Gonzo as his
Movie
quote.
magic.
You figured it out secretly and you submitted it without telling anyone.
Yeah.
And then it was done. I was like, oh, we did it. Okay.
Yeah.
Big secret I knew the entire time.
Yeah, I was actually
Oh.
the entire time.
Actually, I was suspecting
Yeah, I
it
was
as well.
like sitting there watching.
It says November 2018 to July 2019.
Yeah,
Anyway,
it's
if
a
the
long
segment
time.
counts.
That
There we
time
have
is
2
technically
seconds.
wrong, but I don't care.
Who
I
cares?
don't even know how it's
yeah,
wrong.
well,
That's the
nobody
problem.
knows how source timing works. It's just confusing.
It's not even like I mistimed something, but I don't know what I mistimed. So I already rendered the credits by the time I realized. I was like, whatever. It's dumb.
Sorry, I just saw that again. I forgot about Gamma Energy developers for developing Gamma Energy.
This
Oh,
is
then I
not
have to do it.
speedrun.
This is not speedrun. It's like you cheating. You are used
holes.
You cross half game of the air. This is not honestly, I think. I am show. It's not right for you to go like it's imitating a completely different game. Sure, you make golden cosmic war. You're excellent. But it's not speedrun. And the end sucks. Royal S12, I was looking for the S's for Doggy Doggy S2. How was it? 11, 12. But it was looking perfect. Not game, speed. The joke is that I actually had it memorized and I didn't need to read that.
Yeah, I mean,
Hey.
who doesn't have it memorized?
Attention for no reason, dude.
Well, that was that.
Well,
That
thank you.
actually went pretty well.
And it only took 2 hours.
I don't know if we have a lot of people watching right now, but I guess we should put the VOD somewhere and get comments.
Yeah,
on
we
it.
have- we have
I'll
3
dump
people
it and
watching
I'll
it.
put it on my channel, or maybe we'll just highlight it and keep it.
We have
here.
3 people watching, and one of those is me.
One of those.
And one of those is me.
Okay, so nobody's watching.
Yeah.
Yes, we did this for ourselves.
We had more viewers at one point, but
We started at like 9,
Oh,
but then, I mean, people get bored.
what do
We've
you
been
mean
going
people
at this
get bored?
for how long? Just a couple
How long
hours.
are we going for?
Hey, Cuber is still here.
Maybe an hour and a half. Oh, hey.
Hour and a half is actually not
Hope
that
you've
bad. I
enjoyed
thought
the
it was
stream.
going to be much longer at the rate we were going at.
Yeah.
That was pretty solid though. I think
Yeah.
you guys did well.
Went well.
Very cool.
Very cool.
So jumpless Noah Slay run next.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's going to be a thing.
That's gonna involve everyone else but me because I can't be bothered doing segments.
Yes, you can. What do you mean?
I
I
should
wish you
probably
all
do
good luck
segments.
with your
But Mike, you can do routing with for us.
That is true.
I
you
might
can
do
do
some
random-
if I feel like it. If I'm ever in the
Even
mood.
though well, I think we just need to route escapes and 19. That's about
Escapes
it.
and 19.
Bill already did 19, but he doesn't know if it's possible yet.
Hey, why don't we continue and turn this into a routing stream?
Oh no.
Oh,
Let's
God.
do that.
Well, fun stuff. I hope whoever lasted this long had a good watch.
Yeah.
Cuber did. He's the only
If
one.
anyone has any, anyone lurking,
If
in chat,
anybody
you
has
have
any questions, be sure to
or
direct
concerns,
them straight at Imanex.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I'm very responsive.
You're very responsive. You know a lot about the run, right?
You're very responsible.
Yeah. I can give you general advice. I'm like a mathematician. Well, in general, it works this way, but who
You
knows?
give
what
general
they did
advice, you
there.
know, don't get bit
Be
by
sure to
spiders.
email all your concerns at imanex@gmail.com.
Yeah, general advice like don't get bit by spiders, you know. Don't drive drunk.
I can just give you life advice, maybe.
You are the oldest of us.
You
Yeah,
met this guy
that
on-
makes me
I
sad.
met this guy during stream yesterday, and he was a fucking asshole.
No.
brush, floss, vote for policies. What else? What are some good?
Practice.
Take the
Practice.
drugs,
Go to
eat
drugs.
vegetables.
Always
Respect your
practice.
dreams, follow your dreams. Always
Don't stay out of
optimize your
bounds for too
segments.
long.
Always optimize your segments and have a really good fucking day.
Have a good day. But that's not very good life advice because you know after that, then you've got so many other days ahead of you, and it's not much
You
good.
would, those days, you make those days good as well.
Have a
Okay,
good rest of
have
the
a
year.
good day
Oh,
every
wait.
day.
Have a good rest of the year. Oh wait.
Have a good decade.
Oh wait.
Well, ugh. Have a good lifetime.
The decade's almost over.
Oh no,
Uh,
sorry. Have a good rest of your lifetimes. There we go.
Also, always look on the bright side of life. Do.
Alright, we can.
Oh my
unsweep.
god. Yeah, we gotta stop here. People will think we're weird. Bye.